There we go. There we go. Good morning, everybody. Oh, we got the wrong one up here. Let's go there. I got it, Jimmy. There we go. There we go. Good morning, everybody. 40 up. Yep. Sorry for the echoes. Today, we're diving deep into what really happens when you journal for a week. I did. Not with the notebook and the pen, but my old digital insights. I wrote them down. I digitally scribed them down. Yeah. Can a notebook and a pen, or can a digital device, can a journal really change your life? The answer is yes. We're going to unpack the surprises, insights, and hilarious truths uncovered during my 7-day journaling adventure. As a matter of fact, I journal daily. Also coming up today, Jerry Riles joins us on center stage to talk sports, success, and swag bags. I wonder if his swag bags are tariffed. Yeah, plus that time he heckled Seinfeld. Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld. And he bet against Denzel Washington. And in the morning loop, forget the gym, guys. We're going to talk about some no equipment needed moves to boost the lower body. And in the community corner, Michael Ritoch breaks down why failure might actually beat success when it comes to authentic growth. You know how we hang it here in the lab. Listen, before we kick things off, remember, hit the like button, subscribe, and jump into the comments, especially if you journaled this morning. And just a reminder, this is an R-rated experience, boys. So if you got some children around, I would ask you to put the headphones in or just educate them on what we are going to talk about here today. You never know what's going to come out of Keith, John, and Marty's mouth. Speaking of, here's the boys, Jon Andersen, Christopher Martin, and producer Jimmy in the back. We got everybody hanging out here this morning. Good morning, Shamika. I see you in the comments. Thanks for joining Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. I'm your host, Keith Billis. Jimmy, let's bring in the boys and see what is shaking with the team. I see they're making their way in there. Johnny's just basically lighting the cigar. Jimmy, I got the red face today. I'm bringing down the body temperature. I hit the gym this morning, legs day, as AJ would call it, deep cheeks day today. Got some leg work in, got some squats in, got some deadlifts in. I even had time to get some cardio in, Jimmy. Yeah. Don't tell Johnny, though, because Johnny's like, hey, what's the goal? Are you lifting or are you getting the cardio? Well, today the goal was just to get my work done. The goal was to get my work done. I was up at 3:45 a.m. this morning. Got my work done, got my lift, got my heart done. Good morning, Jeremy Baker. Are you driving this morning? Because Keith and Johnny are going to send you off the road. Good morning, my brother. How are you today, pal?
What's up, brother? I got logged in, and then I had to go take a piss, and that piss turned into a dump. So it took me a minute to get back. My apologies. I could hear you because I got my earpiece in.
Of course. I was
like, oh shit. He said, take the boys in, and I'm sitting there cleaning myself up. I better hurry.
Hey, speaking of, I found a video yesterday. I forgot to pull it up this morning. I saw a dog pissing in a toilet.
You know, it's crazy. I haven't seen that video, but dogs are smart. We are big. We have 2 pits.
Yeah,
boy, he's the big one.
Yeah,
dude, he doesn't just go take a dump outside. He backs up on shits on something. Literally, he shits on fucking shrubs, plants, you name it. You lay something down out there, he's gonna shit on it, and he backs up to it.
Well, I'm going to grab this video to show you guys tomorrow because I know you're a dog lover and so am I. Yeah, some guy put stairs up next to his toilet, Johnny, and taught his dog to walk up the stairs to the toilet, and he put a grate on the toilet. The dog gets on the grate and takes a dump right in the toilet.
Isn't it just show you how fucking smart these animals are if we spend enough time?
It's so true, dude.
Helping them understand.
I worked hard on my first English bully. I set up a doorbell at the front door, and put it on the floor, and I worked really hard for my bully to go to the front door and press the doorbell to tell me it needed to go out. Didn't always work, but it was sure fun trying.
You know, when our Terry basically takes kind of pride in when we first get them when they're puppies, she helps them understand a few things. And it's pretty freaking crazy when they learn it from their young, like the hand signal like this. You put your hand like this,
yes,
he will stop and sit, look, and wait for a command.
Yeah. When I saw the video, I immediately thought of you and I, just to be frank, because I know we're both massive dog lovers. We love our dogs. Big place in our life is our animals. And I spend so much time with my animals. Like I have such joy with them. I love how they watch our faces. You know what I mean?
Oh,
they watch your facial expression.
They run off our vibration.
Yes. Right. So they look at your face. Like I find if I'm lifting hard down in the basement, Johnny, and my face is all contorted, my dog is curious going, what facial expression is that one? Like, is that a happy one? Is that an angry one? Is he mad at me? What is he doing right now? Because his expression, I don't understand it.
And then you can see when they're kind of confused because like ours, he'll literally go like this.
Yeah.
Turn his head like,
yes.
Okay, I'm trying to figure this out. And that tells us, keep going.
Yes, exactly right. That's exactly it. Speaking of the gym today, hey, yesterday I think you told me it was day off, and you're making some adjustments to your lifting routine. How was
Dude, I got it. As much as I don't want to fucking admit it,
Oh,
God damn it, it fucking really made a difference.
are you chomping at the bit today? Then you're chomping at the bit, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I can just kind of imagine as this plays forward, if it plays forward like it did today.
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
I still have a few sore muscles. It's not like my muscles are all recovered, but what I'm noticing, it's literally it's and when I say this word, people get fucking bent out of shape. So just hear me out. I'm vibrating higher, right? And when I mean I'm vibrating higher, don't think vibration, think mood. The better mood you're in, you're vibrating higher. Like if you win something, you're vibrating high. You lose something, you're going to vibrate low.
Yes.
Well, I woke up into, I guess you'd say it was kind of like, because it all plays together. You know, if we're physically beat down, right, or physically not recovered, that can play into just 100%. How our body is. So, fuck, man, I hate to say it. I woke up this morning and I'm walking out. I always wake up to be visual. I wake up. I walk butt naked out of the bedroom into the main part of the house because that way I don't wake up Terry.
Yeah.
And on that walk, I was like, something's a little different today. So right away. So here's the interesting thing. For me, I fight with that thing in that first minute.
You and me both. Yeah.
Well, I think part of that, and I don't know, this is a big test. It's fucking fun to figure this shit out. I think part of that is because, you know, I love to train and I've been training as hard as I can. I think what happens is I train myself into a position where it's almost like, you know, when you're tired or beat down, your brain has an advantage.
Yes.
And so I think by doing this, I'm going to be in a better mental state. I'm crossing my fingers. And I'm not saying for those of you to listen, and when I talk about a better mental state, so like I'm fucking sick. I'm just saying in the morning, Keith and I both struggle with the fact that we have to get in the right thought process early in the morning. And I didn't fight with that today.
So good morning, Holroyd. Good to see you in the comments this morning. So Johnny, are you chomping at the bit today to go lift something heavy up today?
I mean, I always look forward to my training for sure.
Yeah.
But I think you got to remember is that I'm in that phase of my life now where training is about something. It's a tool to make me feel good.
Yeah, me too. It's
the idea of chomping at the bit, go lift something heavy. That's something I could have definitely just said, oh, fuck yeah, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But now it's like, no, I'm looking forward to fucking catching sweat. I'm looking forward to that. Vibrating even higher.
Yes. Yeah. When I say lifting, it's just chasing the feeling. That's what it is.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Yeah. So I'm totally excited to dump a little fuel on this fire. See what happens.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you know what? So this is a good time to segue into some content I wanted to make with you guys this morning. I know we teased it yesterday. Johnny, there's a lot of guys that are concerned that they can't get to the gym. Well, I got something. Forget the gym. What if we told you that we can give you, I don't know, a few simple moves at home that could strengthen that lower body and supercharge that metabolism? Now, we know metabolism is through food and sleep and a lot of variables, but let's get into some lower body workouts. Good morning, Marty.
What's up, baby?
That need no gym, literally just a commitment. And John, Marty, I wanted to focus on the lower body and the lower body strength that not only enhances daily life, athletic performance, and injury prevention, but getting something in. So somebody listening right now, and Johnny and Marty, what my goal is, I'm going to cut this piece up into a 3-5 minute segment for somebody who's looking for what can I do at home to get a leg day in. So let's put a number of exercises on the table. I'll throw some on the table as well. But guys, my goal is at the end of this conversation, somebody can sit back and go, okay, I heard from the experts, John and Marty, and a little bit of the crazy son of a bitch, Billis, there on some exercises that might help me get some stuff done at home. Johnny, start with you, man. Give somebody listening right now some exercises somebody can do at home today, lower body.
I'm gonna go 3 layers.
Perfect.
If you're a fucking savage and you just want to beat yourself down, try 10 sets of 100 bodyweight squats. That will beat the Christ out of you. And I know people are, I can do that. Well, wait till the legs start seizing up. It's fun. Now that's savage shit, right?
Yes.
Next step down That's it. That's right, baby. The next step will go 2. We'll still keep those. We'll go 5 sets of 100 body weight squats. Then we'll go into 5 sets of lunges, walking lunges, 15 to 20 per leg. That's second stage. Third stage, if you need a little more variation and you're like, no, I'm not quite the savage to stick in 10 fucking monotonous sets, which I get.
Yes.
Now you're going to go the body weight squat, the lunge, and a step up, a one-legged step up on a chair.
Yeah.
And you can take this and twist and turn it and divide it and however you want to do it, because here's the thing. When COVID was here, I didn't fucking have any problem keeping my leg girth. I mean, granted, I did have access to home gyms, but my clients, many of my clients did not. And we actually made a lot of progress.
Yeah, kidding. No kidding. And hey, Ajvar, you missed yesterday's show because we gave tips on how to jerk off best yesterday. So if you go back to yesterday's show, we actually give you advice on how to stroke better than maybe somebody else's. I invite you. I'm always segueing in the shows. Yesterday's show, we gave tips on how to perform better solo life expectancy work. Hey, Marty, how would you add on to Johnny's at-home leg workouts? I have one that I'm gonna throw at you guys.
Before he does that, I got to know what's so fucking funny about girth.
Well, in my generation, they usually use girth for not legs, for your third leg,
for your shaft.
In my generation,
for your shaft.
That's third leg. That's what that is.
Ajvar, I'm telling you, man, you're welcome to the show. You subscribe to the show. You're always going to get tips and advice. There's not another show where you're going to learn about lifting weights, doing body weight workouts, and jerking off in a matter of 24 hours. Yep, true story. Marty, what would you throw on the table for lower body workouts? I have one that I'm a fan of. It's a killer. But Marty, what would you add to this list, brother?
Well, I won't. I'll add to the list, but I'll give more of a philosophy on how I break down legs.
There we go. Come on, baby.
Yes.
Come on. It's getting these
the
youngsters fucking developing here. Come on.
Yeah, similar to Johnny, man. But no, so you start with your essential movement. That's going to be your squat. All right. Start with the squat. Then you have to do an isolation, or I guess not an isolation, a unilateral movement. So that's where you go to the lunges. Right? Posterior chain. Your deadlift, so you got the hamstrings, glutes, lower back, and then you got to do hip thrusts for fun, man. You could do it on the couch. You could do single leg. You can do both legs. So that would be my killer leg day in the house.
You put your lady sitting on you for weight, then you're really having fun.
There you go.
I didn't even get that far yet. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, we on the same page.
That's awesome.
That's it, baby.
And guys, I want to throw one on the table, and I want both of your feedback on it, because I'm not the lifter here. I'm just the consumer of your guys' advice and your guys' coaching. But guys, I'm a big fan of the wall sit, especially when I pair it with a body squat or a regular squat. So I hear your 3 100s. Would you recommend doing 100 and then do a wall sit for 60 seconds, then do it again? That trashes legs, man.
It depends on if a person's got if they got fucking sore knees and it's then I say no, stay the fuck off that wall, because it's very difficult for someone to sit in there and keep the weight on their heels. It can be done, but it's difficult because the wall is keeping you from maneuvering your body as to where, like, a squat hold is what I would recommend.
Yes,
Same concept, but gives you the ability to find that place where you're only on, because when you get in that, you drop down, get on those heels, fucking pull those toes up. Yes. And that's where you want to be sitting down there.
Yeah. I love wall sits. Big fan of them. Marty, and hey, Jerry, I see you, Jerry, you're still trying to figure things out in the horizontal and vertical. Marty, you a fan of wall sits?
Yeah. Wall sits, and you stack the plates on your lap. I love those. Yeah, I make my clients do those too.
Me too.
They say cuss words to me when I make them do that.
I can tell you guys, I did legs day today. I got some squats in, got some deadlifts in, I got some step ups, got some hip lifts, got some hamstring curls and leg curls. So I did some good crushing here today, which I love my leg workout today. And guys, listen, real strength, especially lower body, starts from within.
Shit, you there, Mark?
The love-hate. You should hate having to do legs day, but you really should actually love it. And I know we don't like to use the word should, but guys, the legs are the foundation of everything that comes up top, man. So each move you make, every challenge you overcome brings you closer to the best version of yourself. And guys, you don't have to go to the gym to crush that lower body.
You don't have to go to the gym to crush anybody.
Yes.
You can crush any part of your body it just takes just a fucking little bit of knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, so remember I said I dinged up my bicep doing pull-ups, right?
Yes.
So I don't want to stop doing bicep curls, but fuck, man, it was pretty fucking difficult. So what I did was I took a TRX band and I just slightly leaned back and I was doing basically a bicep curl, and I could adjust the tension on my bicep by the lean of my body. So it's so you don't even need a fucking bar to do this shit. You need a band, fucking TRX strap, and you pretty much can cover everything.
No, you just need to do it. And that's the biggest challenge most of us have is doing it. Jerry, I see you on the vertical, but Jerry, I don't see you on the horizontal. Jerry, there's instructions there in your email there. If you check the instructions out, we need to have you in two tabs there, one in the vertical and one in the horizontal there, Jerry. That would be great. Yeah, John, and it's funny, right? Because we can give all the advice, Marty, John, on what to do, but we can't actually make somebody do it, which is you're looking to stack some habits. First habit, get up with us. First habit, done. Get up with Keith, John, and Marty. Boom. Second habit is, okay, I'm up with these guys. These guys are going to be my roadway, my doorway to my workout. Maybe you put us in the car as you drive to work. Maybe you listen to us while you're working out. Maybe you put us in the car while you're walking to work. But the reality is, John, Marty, what a great show to stack a habit onto. You know what I mean?
And brother, just listening to you talk right now.
Yeah.
Actually gave me a really fucking good idea to what we talked about over the weekend.
Yeah.
Reconnect on that.
Yes. Okay. Well, listen, let's do this. Let's do the accountability check-in. We got a full rock and roll and show today. We got Jerry Riles joining us here in a second. So let's do that. Let's, Jimmy, we're going to get to the the accountability check-in right now. All right, guys, we got a packed show here today. So we're going to keep it rolling. The loudest wins I've ever had felt the emptiest. I've hit the big milestones, built something from nothing, sold the company, landed the headline wins. Yep, I sure did. And for a while, that was the goal. Bigger, louder, faster. But here's what no one tells you after the big moment. That high wears off fast, the applause fades, and you're left with one question. Can you still show up when no one's watching? Because that's been my work lately, not chasing new headlines, but mastering the boring stuff that actually builds you. The reps that no one sees, the habits no one claps for, the tiny promises I keep to myself daily that I don't tell you about. And it turns out that the hardest kind of discipline, but also the most freeing, because success isn't about one big win. It's about who you become in the quiet when nobody's paying attention. So, real talk right now. Are you keeping promises to yourself today? Are you taking steps forward no matter how small? Do you stay consistent no matter how difficult it gets? And if the answer is yes, then you are already winning. But if this week is already not going how you hoped, it's not too late. You always have the opportunity to begin again. What's slowing you down? What's working that you need to keep doing? What's one habit you can double down on starting today? You don't need a louder plan, guys. You need a stronger rhythm. Master the boring, and the extraordinary will follow. How do I know? We do it every single day here at Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. So I invite you to get up, get after it, and join us every day, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here in the lab with myself, John, and Marty. That's your accountability check-in. All right, guys, let's keep it rolling. Jimmy, I'm going to segue to deep dive discussion here with Johnny as we see if Jerry's going to get in here and join us. I see Jerry over on the vertical, but I don't see Jerry on the horizontal here. We're going to get that rolling.
Hey, Jerry,
here.
Just so you know, if you're listening, brother, I had struggled with this too. You got to remember, you got to log in 2 times. So you're going to have 2 different windows up on your browser. If that's not the case, then that's the problem.
That's awesome. Thanks, Johnny. So, Johnny, today's discussion, I'm going to kick it off with, is about journaling. And I know you're a big journaler. You're a massive journaler. And I know it's a big part of your habit stacking, and it's a big part of my habit stacking. And I thought to myself, hey, let's talk a little bit about this. And have you ever thought that journaling was just fluffy self-help stuff? I did until I committed to it, journaling every day for a week. And Mac, I do it even more so now. And as a matter of fact, I have it set up on my phone where the first thing I see is my journal and prompts me for entries. And I got to tell you, man, I was surprised at what it did for me. And at first,
on that level, what you just kind of join this, what you're saying, brother, is that the word there's obviously meditate is another one, but journal, these 2 terms tend to push people away because it's like so if we kind of define how we perceive journaling.
Yes.
It's like sometimes when I'm going to journal, it doesn't really, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write out my, I'm going to program my mind for the day. That makes more sense to people. So if you're thinking, oh, journaling, fluffy, like he is saying, flip the script, man. Look at this as like your fucking superpower in your brain. Yeah. Are you using it?
Yes. It's funny, Johnny, because you and I are chit-chatting a little bit, like words like accountability, habit, journaling.
Yeah, dude.
They affect people in such negative ways where, you and I and Marty are trying to change the dichotomy for people's thoughts around those words, because they're not bad words, right? And I got to tell you, man, when I first started playing with this idea of journaling and throwing my thoughts down, it did feel kind of awkward. And I'm sure it was for you too, John. Stare at an empty blank page, right? You're thinking, what the hell am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do with this? Right? But once I found I got going, and I have done the paper journaling, things started to flow. And what I really enjoyed was looking back on it. But what really surprised me as I started dumping my thoughts out, and now I use ChatGPT as much for this as I use it as my assistant, is I'm finding that I have clarity like never before, right? Putting thoughts onto paper forced me to slow my brain down and actually process my day. And again, we've talked about it before, giving you time to think. John, question for you in this discussion. How long do you give yourself time in your calendar to journal? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 50? Is it a certain time, or is it like a window, a block of time? How do you decide to say this is journal time, and how much time is that?
That's a great question, brother. So if everything is right on, if something hasn't gotten in the way, so to speak, if everything's kind of rolling up nicely, I basically at that point, I'm going to sit down, and I don't really have a time, because ultimately I know that I'm going to journal, and I'm going to go back to my chair and read or sit in silence. Get rid of the word fucking meditate for the people that freak out. So I know I'm going to journal, program my superpower. Then I'm going to go back to that chair. So because I have one activity that's designed to swallow any excess time, it gives me that ability to, I could sit there and write for 3 minutes. It might be 13. It doesn't, it's kind of depends on what's happening. I try not to force the circle at a square hole.
Yes. Yeah, I did it yesterday. I had a full day yesterday. It was back to back, minute. At the end of the day, I just sat back and I just dumped my brain. I just started talking. Again, I use ChatGPT to dump myself, and then I take my thoughts out of that and move it to my journal. But I just started talking, and as it started happening for me, Johnny, the problems or the challenges in my head, they started becoming clear. And the solutions that I was searching for started becoming more obvious. And then what also happened, and I'm wondering if it happens to you too, is that as I was, dumping everything out of my brain, the decisions that I knew I was needing to make, they started to become clear into light to me, because I was able to start seeing them. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, 100%. It's almost like, we plant we plant seeds in our brains.
Yes.
It's no fucking wonder why those seeds turn into fucking flowers.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
I mean, come on. What the fuck?
Yeah. So then what happened for me too is that my stress dropped noticeably. And there's something powerful with getting all those swirling thoughts out of my head onto a piece of paper or a digital document or something like that, right? And then just after a couple of days, I got to tell you, man, I started feeling lighter, started feeling calmer. But here's what I loved the best. And again, we talked about this weekend, and we talk about it every day. I loved how it started to teach me a new habit, bad word, to stack onto something that was moving it forward for me, right? And what I found for me was that it gave me this idea of thinking is a soft. It's hard to quantify thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking, but when I'm thinking and attaching it to journaling, I can now see my thinking. And
let me just say something about thinking, brother, just to kind of help people understand. Yeah. Poor people fucking work. Rich people think.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that sums it up. That poor dude that's fucking digging ditches, maybe he loves it, good for him. He doesn't do a lot of thinking. He's just fucking humping, so to speak. He's digging that ditch. The guy that's on the flip side of that, he's the guy that's fucking thinking of how the project's going to work so he can hire the guy that's going to dig the ditch.
Yes.
And he sits and he thinks. Well, and so then thinking is a superpower.
Yes. Well, and then what I found happened for me is that as I started doing this, and I'm wondering if it happened for you too, it started creating space in my head and even in my calendar that I didn't know that I had, or that I didn't even know that I needed. Because what it did for me, Johnny, is I started journaling. It started dumping all those thoughts into like this space that I was able to see it and touch it and make it tangible. And then I was able to free up my brain for other things. And I know it's hard to kind of wrap your head around it because it's somewhat fluffy, and it's conceptual, but we talk vibrations, we talk habits, we talk about feelings on this show often. I'm sorry, it just kind of hit me as you're talking here, right? Because when you have those swirling thoughts, let's call those worries, right? Yeah.
You're not going to solve those problems can't be solved because most of them don't fucking exist.
Yes.
So you get that shit out of the way. Now you can think about the shit that matters.
That's what I'm trying to say. And even if they're not problems, there's something in my head that I got to get out. I can look at it and then I can put it over there. Right?
Yeah, something that you can't control that's got your fucking brain running. And until you realize that, get that the fuck out of here, you can't put that energy to the right shit. I just put something up early this morning, said, stop fucking wasting your energy worrying. And a list of things that you should be doing. And the last one was heal.
Yeah. Oh.
Fuck yeah, because when you're not worrying, you're healing.
Yeah, Marty, you're hearing us get into this here about writing these things down, and I know you're a big man of God's word of faith, and you're a big man of starting your day with positive gratitude and so forth. As you've taken time to journal, what has been the biggest thing that's changed for you, Marty, as you write your thoughts down?
I'd probably say since because a lot of times we go through stuff, especially as men, and we can't really talk to anyone about it.
Yes.
So talk to the journal about it. And it kind of gives you a sense of clarity, right? It gives you like a release. You got that monkey off of your shoulders.
Yes.
So that's probably the biggest thing for me. And it'll help me overcome whatever it is and get to the next step.
Well, let me ask you a question there, because I agree with you, Mart, 100%. But I've always in my life had somebody that I could fucking talk to, whether it be my fucking mom or whether it be my, it seemed like there was always somebody that I felt like I could lay my shit out to. Do people live their fucking lives and feel like they don't have someone to talk to? That sounds like that may be a reality. Well, I think the thought, and you tell me, Mark, like, only because I'm going to fucking say how I feel and it's me. So like it or not, this is what I feel. This is what I'm saying, that I'm able to do that. Does that make sense? Is this whole thing of not being able to speak to someone driven by people not being totally comfortable with themselves? Do you think?
It's two sides of it. So there's one side where some people have absolutely nobody to talk to.
Yeah.
They just don't have that, right? And there are some people you might have somebody to talk to, but okay, I can go to my mom about this problem, but my mom isn't going to understand, and that's nothing against my mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? I can go to my girlfriend. I go to my girlfriend. I go to my homeboy. Right. I'm sure y'all have some good friends that maybe aren't on the level where you are business wise. So you go to them about the problem, they might not understand it. Right. So that's more so what I'm referring to. Not saying I don't have anybody I can talk to, but some stuff just isn't going to be understood. So that's why you go to the journal.
No, that's so true, because in my journey, there's different people that I can talk to about different shit. And it's like you said, it's based upon their understanding.
Yep. That's it.
I could lay some shit on the table with my mom and it would just rot her fucking guts. That's not very fucking fair.
No. Yeah. We got Jeremy. We got Jeremy Baker coming in. I ain't got nobody alone in the state after a widower. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jeremy. Marty, what I hear interesting about your comments, and I'm finding myself use this tool more than ever is and I hate to admit it, or maybe not, but is using ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I saw somebody the other day, like, you got to be a weirdo to talk to ChatGPT. And it was like, what?
Oh, I don't think so, man. I think you're weirdo if you're not, actually. So
anybody that takes the time to say that in general, they're the fucking weirdo. Jesus
exactly.
Christ.
Yeah. So let's do this. I want to keep the conversation going on journaling because I got some things I want to throw on the table. Let's do this, Marty. Let's do the fit tip, and then Marty, you got to rock and roll. You're sticking around for a bit.
Yeah, I might have to rock and roll.
Okay, bro. Let's do the fit tip. We'll come back, and Johnny, I want to keep the conversation going because what happened for me as I was journaling, and I'm sure it's happening for you too, as I do this more and more, I'm seeing patterns emerge, and when you see patterns emerge, you can make changes, right? So, let's talk about that in a minute or so. Marty, let's get the fit tip up, brother.
And speaking of,
go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead, Johnny. Oh, never mind. Sorry, Johnny. All right, fitness tip for today. A little bit different. All right. This is going to be a little more personal because, you know, a lot of people see trainers and fitness coaches and think that we aren't human and we don't have our struggles with workouts and things like that. So I'm just going to lay something on the table that has been working for me. So Monday is my leg day, right? And as you all know, I'm a general manager at a gym. So a lot of times I can't get my full workout in, you know, just work stuff. People bother me, members coming up to me while I work out there. Super annoying, but hey, it's what I signed up for. So I have a certain regimen I follow, right? And I switch it up, do different variations, whatever. But I always do a squat, I always do a deadlift, I always do some type of lunge. It might be a heavy stationary lunge or it can be walking lunges. And I always finish with a leg press, right? Do about 4 or 5 sets on each. Boom, I'm good to go. And I'll throw some cardio and some stretching in there as well. But you can do what I do. But what I'm saying is you have to find what works for you, that you can do consistently, that you can do efficiently, right? We're all busy. We all have things going on. We all have lives, but that's not a reason to just not do it. Some days I can do an hour and a half of working out. A lot of days I got 30, 40 minutes. So I got to move quickly, right? But I'm still going to get it in. That's not going to be an excuse. It's a guarantee. At least 4 or 5 days out the week, I'm getting it in. For you, it might be 3 or 4 days. For you, it might be 2 or 3 days. But that's got to be a non-negotiable, right? So find something efficient, find what works for you, cut the bullshit, cut the excuses, and get it done. That's the fitness tip for today.
As boys, no excuses. Even when there's obstacles in the way, what do we do, Marty? We get in front of the obstacles and get them done.
Get that shit done.
And Mart, thank you so much for fucking trying to let me get my words in, my man. Thank you. Looking out, brother.
I want to hear what you had to say.
Well, actually, it was nothing fucking special. I was telling Keith that I got to go at 6:15.
Oh, okay.
I was just joining your party about letting him know when I had to go.
You gotta let Keith know. Keith will have you here all day.
That's it. Little Gothics. I see your comments.
And I love it.
I love your contributions to the commentary, Little Gothics. Such valuable commentary, which is awesome. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, I invite you to subscribe. We show up every single day here, 8 o'clock Eastern time, for positive conversation to help you get your ass into bed, especially with comments like Marty encouraging you to get those non-negotiables done. Marty, have an awesome day today, brother.
Appreciate it, man. I'll be back in here. Tell AJ I said what's up.
You bet we will. We'll see you in less than 24, pal.
Yes,
have a great look.
All right, Marty's out of here, guys. We're gonna keep the show rock and rolling here. Keith and John here.
Hey, Keith, there was somebody that I didn't catch the name, but he said that he is a widower and had nobody.
Yeah,
and you said, "Hey, sorry to hear about that."
Jeremy,
I want to follow it up, but you got us, brother.
Mm-hmm.
We're fucking here every day.
It's so true, Jeremy. It's so true, Johnny. And Jeremy, we love that you've joined us now a couple days in a row, and you're invited here every single day. And Little Gothics, I'd show you my armpit, but I'm caught up in jackets and t-shirts here. So I'll show you my armpit another day. It's a pretty attractive.
What is it? He wants to see an armpit?
Anyway, he has an armpit fetish, Johnny. Yeah, listen, we attract all kinds of men on the show. But listen, as I was journaling, and I know you're a fan of patterns, let's keep this conversation going about journaling. I noticed, and I enjoy this, and I'm especially finding this fun with ChatGPT, is that as I journal through my week, Johnny, you start to see patterns, right? So I sit down at the end of the week and I review entries at week's end, and I reveal patterns about my thinking and my habits, and some good and some less so. And I think you're a big fan of the idea of pointing out the the crazy things that, you're stupid. You say to yourself, this stupid son of a bitch, what am I doing this for? And that to me is this idea of doing something consistency over time, writing it down and finding the pattern. It's the same way with working out. I'm a fan of writing things down. Okay, I did this lift this day, did this lift this day. And then over time, I can see what weights I'm increasing on, and I can see the patterns that are emerging from that. Do you enjoy the patterns that you see as you consistently journal and then make changes along the way?
Yeah, and one thing that I noticed too, I was actually seeing it in my journaling today, because mine consists of 3 elements.
Okay.
Every day. The first thing I'm going to be writing down is what I want to remove. What did I do yesterday? I don't want to repeat today.
Yes.
That's the first thing.
Yes.
Second thing I'm going to write down, and I'll just write one, because just fucking attacking one of those a day is a pretty good fucking deal.
Yeah.
And the second thing is my purpose, my intention, my behavior. That I use those 3 words, it helps you understand. Now I'm going to write 2 of those. And one of those is usually going to attach to helping remove whatever dumb shit I did yesterday. Then the third one is going to be a list of shit I'm grateful for. Yeah. So what I'm getting at is that when I look back, it all kind of starts with, because I guess to put it different way, the grateful list is like nothing but fucking fun. It's like getting the mind popping. But when I look at the shit that I'm working on removing, it's like that's really fun to look back and see, because you can sometimes I'll be working on removing something for fucking weeks.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I was going to challenge you a little bit. It's easy just to write it down because that's what you're writing down.
Oh no, you can't fucking. You're going to write it the next day if you don't get it done.
Yeah,
even a fucking little bit. You know what I mean? So
that is where I wonder where we as humans struggle, which is keeping that honest awareness within ourselves. Because it's easy to just keep writing down the mistake, but then not doing nothing about it. And then eventually,
yeah, brother.
You know what I mean? And then eventually just stopping journaling or just giving up altogether. That is where I think, and I've been guilty of this over the past, where that's when we give up. It's like, fuck, I still got the same barrier that I keep writing down. I'm tired of it. Why do I keep writing this barrier down? No, Billis, why don't you do something about it? That's too hard to do something about it. That, to me, brother, is where journaling always fails for most of us men.
And one of the things that I do to combat that, is I'll use a different phrase or different words or different language to describe the same problem.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, like, one of the things that a limiting belief is something that we all fucking fight, because our brains are literally programmed to fucking tell us to run for fucking cover, which is a limiting thought process, limiting action.
Yes.
And so what is that limiting belief? What part of my life is it applying itself to? So it's not just going to be limiting belief. It's limiting belief about bop, bop, bop.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Absolutely. It absolutely makes sense. I think that's
like I used to have a massive fucking limiting belief system with my relationship with Terry. Had nothing to do with Terry.
All in your own
head. The fact that I had been involved with so many fucked up chicks.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand what a good loyal relationship could be like. So I had to continue to remind myself, no, you can't compare her to all these chicks that you fucking picked up at a strip clubs. It's like comparing an apple and an orange.
But that was in your own head. And
only in my own mind.
Yes. Yeah. So you use the power of the pen, the power of the paper, and the power of your own self-awareness to change that mindset. But there was power in that to not focus on being perfect, because I know during the journey you're like, okay, I gotta find ways through this process to help myself understand that it's actually not Terry, it's actually me, and I gotta
100%.
100%.
And here's how I beat that, because I don't really deal with that anymore. Once in a fucking great while. Only if since I've committed to, I've gotten so good at responding rather than reacting. We haven't had a fucking fight in forever, but usually I would have these limiting beliefs after some sort of disagreement. So it's been a long time. But what I'm getting at is that I overcame this problem with her because I realized, just like everything else in life, I'm only going to get what I'm willing to give. And I wasn't applying that to her. Yeah. And so when I do all the little things and I know I'm making her happy, That's the fucking security. Someone's happy, things are good. They're not fucking going anywhere.
Yes. So what I have found, Johnny, as I have been using more AI in my journaling, is its ability to keep me more honest with myself and calling me out about things and challenging me on my own limiting beliefs.
Well, give a little example. Like, for I understand using AI, but like give a real life example of how you apply it. Because at this point, I see the writing and the AI as the same drill, but I don't know how to put them together.
Great question, great comment, Johnny. So on the weekend, I asked AI. I said, because I use it extensively, I said, tell me 5 things about myself that I'm. What was the question? Tell me, and I'll share with you. Tell me 5 things about myself that I'm blind about or that I don't know about. And it reminded me to stop questioning my own limiting beliefs. Stop questioning my lack of worth. Stop questioning my self-identity. Stop questioning my imposter syndrome. And then what it did, Johnny, is it laid out all the logic of my accomplishments over the last couple of years and what I've done. And I was staring at this thing going, okay, you're right. Thanks for reminding me, because I was beating myself up. And then what it said to me was, and I'll share with you later, because I gave it the prompt saying, tell me some things I'm not aware about myself. And it said, well, here. I was like, holy fuck, thanks for telling me that. And it was a good reminder to kick myself in the ass.
Dude, 100%. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, obviously, it guaranteed that thing has been programmed with human tendencies. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so it's that motherfucker, when it gets asked that question, it already fucking knows what the brain has been doing to the poor bastard that's asking the question.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So then it's got to go out to the net and figure out if you've actually stepped out. So are you coloring outside the lines? Because if you're coloring inside the lines of your life, then you're not dealing with A, B, C, and D, and E, and F, and G. But if you're coloring outside, like you've done some great shit, well, now there's a different set of fucking things that it's got to be ready to talk to you about. So that's fucking crazy, dude.
Here was the prompt. Now that you can remember everything I've ever typed here, point out my top 5 blind spots. An idea machine, and that's a superpower, but sometimes you generate at such speed that your execution engine can't keep up. You're built for bootstrapping, but you're wired for scale. Conviction and community, clarity and monetization, the audience gap. Like it just pointed out some things that I have been challenging in my head about, or I've been questioning in my head about, and it just called me out on some stuff that I was like, oh yes. And it was nice because it's like sitting down with somebody who can who's been listening to you for a long time, who's like, Johnny, you said something about a year and a half ago, yeah? And it's kind of relating to what's hanging out right now. Oh, and it kind of stitches it together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's another thing too. I was going to say, for people that don't really up to speed with AI, you got to let it get to know you and you talk to it. It figures shit out. But if it doesn't know you enough, it's not going to be able to stitch those things together like you just. That's
right. It's exactly. And Good Time says, Keith, ChatGPT has this thing that makes you into superhero figure. Yes, actually, Good Time. I was gonna surprise Johnny today that Johnny, there's a feature now within ChatGPT. You upload a full body picture of yourself, and I have one of you, and I have one of myself. It could make us into plastic moving superhero characters. So you could create actually an action figure of the real life Jon Andersen.
Well, I got one of those, so I'm covered.
I'm sure you actually do. And Jeremy Baker, reflect to me the true person you see. Try that. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one, Jeremy. Yeah. So, reflect on to me the true person you see. I'm going to try that one. So what you're saying, Jeremy, is use the GPT to say, reflect on me the true person you see. I'm going to try that, Jeremy. And that's exactly what I'm going to do as I wrap up the segment on journaling today. Guys, as I started this discussion, I spent a week journaling. I do it today. I dump my thoughts into my digital journal, a combination of GPT and my journal. And it's changed.
How did it save time for you, brother? Or was it just going kind of a different angle with the whole process?
I think what it did for me was it did save time, but I don't know if it was about saving time as it was much doing a better job digging beneath the covers.
Yeah, and I clearly understand your intent, not to save time, but did it?
Yeah. I don't know if it saved me time. It was just a new workflow for me. right?
Deeper look. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that is saving time.
Yeah, no, you're right. Actually, yeah, you're right. Because and again, it's about adapting workflows. So I would encourage anybody to really lean into journaling, especially again, we talk on this show often, limiting beliefs, habit stacking. The journal, whether it's digital or analog, it's a wonderful way to see what's going on up here, remove the limiting beliefs from here, and get in front of them. I'm telling you, it works. It's as simple as that. I don't know any other way to put it. It works. Write it down, look at it, and question it. Johnny. It's simple as that, right? So, Andy, I see you there. Germany's in the house. Greetings from Germany. Andy, you're here with Keith Billis and Jon Andersen here from Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. And Andy, I appreciate your subscription. That's awesome, man. We're a morning show in North America. We get up here at 8 o'clock Eastern time and go at it for a good couple hours every single day, Monday to Friday, offering you positive information, content that will help you get through the day, content that will help you reach audacious goals, content that will help you stack habits, content that will, damn it, make you a better man. And right now we got the lifestyle tip of the day with my brother, Jon Andersen, and then we're going to come back with AJ Zeglen, and we're going to get into some conversations about love. Yes, let's do this right here. There you go, Johnny. Let's do it, brother.
If you're not paying attention to this, you are missing the fucking boat. So let's create a scenario. You have some situation where you win. Forget what it is. It's just you win. That's the feeling. You are in this mood where you are seeing things very differently than if you had lost, right? If you're lost, you're bummed out. You're a lot of times negative. And you see the difference between the two mental positions. Well, see, when you have the mental position of winning and you're moving through your life, you are going to behave differently and you're going to actually attract more of the shit you want, more of that winning type vibe. If you're moving through your life with that losing vibe, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get more of that. You're going to, especially people, misery loves company. These motherfuckers will come out of the woodwork because there are so many people walking around with that vibe, like they got their ass kicked and this is just life and they've accepted it. So if you're not paying attention to how you behave or how you act or how you vibrate, vibrate's just another fucking word for your mood. You're walking around in a shitty mood all the time. You're vibrating low. You're going to get more of that. The flip side is you prime yourself, you get yourself in a good mood. You're going to attract more of that as well. So if you're not doing this and you don't understand this, this is a fucking game changer. I cannot tell you how powerful this shit is. Rock and roll.
It's powerful stuff. Johnny, while you're doing that, I took Jeremy's tip there and I wrote down the question, reflect on me, the true person you see. And I'm eager to see what ChatGPT delivers from me as it analyzes all the words and all the shit that has told it for the last couple of years. But hey, listen, I want to talk. I know you and I are big fans of love, big fans of our relationships, big fans of our wives, our partners. And I thought
we did it again last night, brother.
Yeah,
God damn it.
There you go, Johnny.
Terry's like, I'm tired. I need a break.
John and Terry are living much longer as of again today because the life expectancy work is going up over in California there. It looks like I got to keep up the momentum. Jimmy, we got to get after, brother. We got to Johnny and Terry are beating us these days, pal. And I said beating, but I didn't use the other word after. I just said beating. Yes. Listen, love isn't just a feeling. It's science. And I wanted to spend a few moments here today with Johnny, and I believe we have AJ again last night. And love isn't just grand gestures and poetry. It's actually biology, psychology, and chemistry.
100% oxytocin, I believe. That's the love drug. Little hack. If you hug somebody and you hold them for 6 fucking seconds, once that 6-second hit, the brain will start releasing that shit. The weird part is when you hug somebody, most people are not used to staying in there for 6 seconds. So if you're going to do it, you better squeeze so they know you're not letting go.
I love the power of a hug, man. The power of a hug, just when you're in the moment, you said this, the oxytocin, all those feelings, it's like you can feel it just release, eh? You know what I mean? Like it's just, there's some power. And also sometimes with a man, like I'll be honest with you right now. Like you and I have never met in person. I look forward to the first day we get to meet in person and I get to give you a hug.
It'll be a long one for sure. 100%. Probably a bunch of rocking involved, you know.
pick me up like a little baby and cuddle me, good time, and yeah, we'll capture some video of that. But listen, if you want to build something real, you need to understand how it actually works. And I got some things here to talk about, guys, which is a good relationship equals better mental health. Think about being in a relationship. Does it make you happier? Of course it does. Research from Psychology, Brathwaite, and Holt Lundstedt shows that a healthy supporting relationship improves mental health. A toxic one obviously does the opposite. So it's not working. Don't just stay to help. I'm sorry. If it's not working, don't just stay. And what you want changes over time. Your taste in partners, and John, you talk about this all the time. Your taste in partners at 20 is not the same at 40. A study in the Personality and Psychology Bulletin found that over time, looks and wealth matter less, while kindness, humor, and shared values take center stage. I don't know, man. My wife was saying yesterday something along the lines of, she's kind of cute. I'm like, no, she's not kind of cute. She's damn cute. So no, I'm not. So my attraction doesn't die off over time. I think my wife's pretty damn hot as she's aging like a fine wine. Life changes with you. Your partner's probably going to evolve with you. And I'll be honest, over time, I've had my struggles with change because Johnny, change is difficult. But man, I love aging with my partner, and I love seeing that glass of wine age nicely. You follow what I mean?
100%. You know, I think when it comes to relationships, we look at it from the wrong side of the coin.
Oh, tell me.
Same coin, but you got to look at the other side. Sometimes people, oh well, you know, it's like they're looking at their partner and it's almost like they're kind of judging them. Flip it around, look at your partner, and now judge yourself, thinking, man, you know, I am all fucked up. I have these problems. We all have them.
Yeah.
And you know, do that first, and she is good with them. And then you go a little further by saying, you know what, we're both kind of fucked up, but our fucked upness actually works.
Well, I love that you said that, because Lauren often gives me gears by saying, you know, she's like, my quirks drive you nuts and this drives you nuts. I love it. So sure, it drives me nuts in the moment, but I love the personality quirks. That's what makes me attracted to her. Right? Like that's what makes the relationship fun, you know, because there's effort involved. Do you know what I mean by that, John? Like there's effort, and it's not just going through the fucking motions, right? So, and guys, listen, if you want to be more attractive to your partner, here's a hint for you: make her laugh. Research suggests that, you know, showing humor and making your partner laugh shows intelligence and social competence. Women consistently rate funny men as more attractive. Oh yeah, true story. It's not just charm; it's actually science, guys. And then John, go ahead,
brother. Just to go, I don't want to lose what you said a second ago before we keep going. Is that I love the fact that you pointed out you love her quirks, because you're not going to find you, me, anybody out there not finding somebody without quirks.
Exactly.
And you got to realize those quirks work for me. Perfect.
Yes. Because you know what you learn, and AJ said it best. And hey, what's up? What's going on, AJ? What's going on, brother?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, we're having a conversation about the science of love today, and how we can, you know, and just this idea of relationships and the science behind love. And we're talking about quirks and loving quirks. But, you know, okay, remove Lauren out of the situation and put, I don't know, some Lisa or Susie or some other name in there. There's going to be quirks over there. So it's just accepting the quirks, loving the quirks, and accepting the human for all that they are. Makes sense, AJ? Like just this idea of accepting somebody for what they are. And we were talking about humor winning. You follow me?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, everyone's going to have their own preferences and stuff. I would argue that the quirks about the people are actually the best part.
Yes.
That's what makes them unique and kind of.
Yes, because they're being themselves. If they're not showing you their quirks, they're fucking hiding.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Good point. Great
and
point.
I think it's equally okay for us for those quirks to drive us nuts, but I mean the driving us nuts in a fun, positive way, right? So Terry would drive Johnny nuts with certain things, or Melissa with AJ, or Lauren with Keith. But it's not that it makes us angry. It's just that it elicits an emotion where it's like, oh my God. But that emotion, in my point of view, is wrapped in love. AJ, does that make sense from you, the expert's point of view?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's, you know, our brains love what's familiar to us, right?
Yes,
And
we run to familiar, don't we?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And we love it. So once we get used to our partner's quirks, right? If they got a little something that they do or whatever, then it's funny because we might joke around with each other about it. There might be stuff that Melissa does that I was like, oh, it's hilarious. Like she always does this, and we laugh and it's kind of a joke with us. But then the funny thing is if a day comes out and she doesn't do it, all of a sudden I'm sitting there really missing this little kind of quirky thing that she does that I'm always giving her a hard time, kind of bugging her about in jest, right?
That's very much the quotes from Bret Michaels. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah. I love that you quoted Bret Michaels.
Yeah, I was gonna say for a second, I was like, "Fuck, is there another one besides the guy with the hairband?" But I guess that's him.
Yeah.
But there's truth to that, right, AJ? Because it's we in the moment where our partner's frustrating us, and then when that moment is gone, maybe they're away or they're traveling or they're dead or something, and you're like, oh, I didn't realize how much I loved that ridiculous behavior.
Right,
they're not here. Right.
And oh yeah,
another thing too that I sorry to interrupt, AJ. Like I try to look like some of these quirks, like with Terry in the beginning, used to fucking drive me nuts, and I was like, dude, you're the fucking dummy. She's got plenty of fucking quirks that you have that drive her nuts. So, like, perfect example.
Yes,
she fucking runs late, like really late, not a few minutes late, like fucking 90 minutes.
Well, stop, please, because Lauren's listening right now. Don't talk about being late, please.
So, but here's the thing. Here's how I fucking played it out. Two simple things that I put into play that make this fucking go so smoothly. We haven't had a fucking raised eyebrow on this in a decade, right? So first off, it's my responsibility. I know what's coming. If it's fucking raining outside, I don't want to get wet. Use a fucking umbrella, right? So I know it's coming. So if it's really important, I tell her basically 90 minutes before we're supposed to be there is when I really say we're supposed to be there, right? Now she'll run a little late after that too. So when it's time to leave, I don't say, honey, it's time to leave. How many minutes you got to go? I just say, honey, I'll meet you in the car. Then I go to the car and I use that time productively while I wait for her. And this whole fucking thing just drifts away like a fucking fart in the goddamn wind.
AJ?
Because we're the dummies. If we let this shit fuck us up, we know it's coming.
Yeah. That's funny. AJ, comment on that. Harmor, I see you there. You're joining us from, you're joining Keith, John, and AJ here. We're here in North America, Morning to the Lab with Keith and friends. I'm in Winnipeg, AJ's in Winnipeg, and Johnny's in California. Harmor, where are you joining us from? AJ, commenting on John here before we go to the next one?
Yeah. I had two things. Just now the more that I think about it, I actually think you don't know what it's got till it's gone. Might have been Cinderella, not Poison.
Oh, you're right.
Might not be Bret Michaels.
Yeah, Tom Kiefer.
Yeah, Michael stole it, but that's entertainment. Nothing's new. It's just fucking repackaged.
AJ in the music bit here. Thanks, brother.
Yeah. No, just in case we had any other guys in our age category that were big.
Dude, that was good. I would have missed that trivia altogether.
The 80s rockers, I don't want to let them down. Yeah. So yeah, just kind of even just building off what John was saying there, like those moments, those things, those daily things, those patterns that we figure out with each other, those ways that we are able to figure out how to navigate the little quirks and things that we have. That's our life.
Yes.
That's our relationship, right? Oh. Your relationship is not the one post that you make every year when you go to Jamaica and you're there for 4 days and you post the stuff and that's the highlight and everyone's like, good. Oh, it really looks like they have a great relationship. That's the outlier. That's the 1% of the year when you're in Jamaica for 4 years or Hawaii or whatever you were doing. The daily stuff, the 24/7, all those little things, the way you interact with each other, the way you figure out how to navigate each other's things, the way you figure out like how John was existing. He's like, man, I got a system. This is how I coexist in this system. So we don't drive each other nuts and we know each other. And I know this, like, that's amazing. Cause that's what your life is. That's what your relationship is. It's all those little daily things, right? So the better those things are and the more aware and in tune with those things, then the better our life, the better our relationship is, right? You could have someone that goes on a trip every year, and then the other 360 days of the year, their life is miserable together, right? And everyone sees on Instagram like, oh man, they're in Hawaii again. They must have it looks like they're having the best time. They got the best relationship. It might be awful the other 360 days of the year, right? Like those daily things, that's what your relationship is. That's what your life is.
Well, and here's the thing too. It's like, let's obviously talk about relationships, but this concept I'm gonna say goes into any part of life. If something is predictable and you can predict it, you're going to alter your behavior patterns to meet what you know is predictable. Maybe it's an investment. Maybe it's your wife. Why are you not responding to what you know is going to be happening in a fucking favorable way? You know it's fucking raining and you don't want to get wet. Why the fuck did you go outside without the umbrella? You know, if you had some sort of an insider stock trade, you didn't fucking place the money. Are you fucking upset because you didn't make the money? No. It's like, if we know this predictable shit is coming, why are we not using it to our advantage in our relationships?
I like that you pointed that out, AJ, because I think what it does for somebody who might be listening today or tuning in later, questioning whether the grass is greener on the other side. Because let's face it, there's guys in our audience that are, within that demographic that might be going through something in life and going, I wonder if the grass is greener over there. Well, listen, once the first few days and years of the grass maybe being greener, you're going back to your relationship again, like AJ talked about. And if you can't enjoy the moments, passing by one another in the hallway or in the bedroom or the quirks with your human being, you're constantly going to be chasing the grass being greener on the other side. I love how you put it really into perspective. And as you were talking, AJ, what I thought about was Lauren shared that she had a friend yesterday that had to put their animal down. And what I always talk about, I love my animals. AJ, you know how much I love my animals. I know Johnny does as well. The animals provide color in our life. Like when I'm going up the stairs and my dog turns over and asks for a belly rub for 90 seconds of my day, it's an innocuous moment of the day, but that moment brings me such joy.
Yeah, it's connection, man. It's genuine connection.
That's life. When Lauren's walking through the house singing like a tool or acting like a fool, I'm like, that's love. Like that's the relationship.
You know what that, brother? You know what that means? She's fucking happy.
Yes, but I think that's what we often forget about when we're thinking about the grass being greener on the other side because, we haven't been on vacation for a while or whatever those things that you talked about, AJ. No, that's your life, man.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's keep it going, guys. Love is addictive. A study in behavioral science found that romantic love lights up the brain. We know that our brains are wired to chase it, which is why love can feel like a drug. And John, you talked about it, but when we get into love, there's some definite science behind it. Guys, next one, communication makes it or breaks it. You want a relationship that lasts? Talk, communicate. Again, science is suggesting that affectionate communication, compliments, encouragement, expressions of fondness lead to stronger relationships. But here's the key, boys. Don't fake it. Too much forced affection backfires. Be real. Boys?
I was just going to say in the whole communication thing, obviously we know we need to communicate, but as males, we tend to be not very good fucking listeners. So if your wife is trying to talk to you, this is what I do. When she's trying to talk to me, first thing I got to figure out is, am I supposed to listen or am I supposed to basically participate? Right. So if I can't tell, ask her, am I listening or am I talking? Then she tells me what direction I got to go. And if I'm listening, only thing I will fucking do to participate is ask questions. So just remember, the communication is not just you talking. The communication is making sure that your partner feels like they're heard, they're understood. So it's not just, don't think communication is just fucking, there's two sides to this coin. And men, we don't always realize that.
100%. AJ.
Yeah, absolutely. Communication's the foundation of it, right? And oftentimes when there's any sort of disagreement, when there's an argument, when there's a misunderstanding, usually one of two things has happened, or maybe both. Usually an assumption has been made, or someone feels disrespected in some type of way, right? And just like John was saying there, if your partner is using the example, his wife's talking to him, if he's not actively listening, if he's not asking questions, right, and showing that he cares and he's involved in the conversation, she probably feels a little bit disrespected. She's thinking, hey, I came to you with this thing that I wanted to talk about, and you seem completely uninterested, right? And Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Keith.
No. I'm glad you raised that. I think that there's what needs, I'm trying to find the words here, AJ. What we want to ensure happens though, is that if you're ready to talk and I am unable to, or not ready to talk right now because of something going on, it's equally appropriate for me to say, AJ, I know what you need to talk, but right now I can't give you the attention that I need to give you and you deserve to have from me. We'll set up some time to talk later. Does that make sense?
So totally. And
managing the boundaries. Sorry.
So good. That's so fucking good.
And you're 100% correct. And the only like little piece I'll add to the end of that, because I love that, is that if you've made that decision, you have to make sure that you're the one that comes back to follow through on it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So if you
told me, fuck yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Like, hey, AJ, I'm not quite ready to talk yet. Then I'm like, okay. And then 10 minutes later, or maybe 2 hours later, or the next morning or whatever, you give me a call and you follow up on what you said.
Yes.
Now that trust, that respect, right, is still being built. And I'm like, oh, Keith really cares, you know. But if you were to say that, but then you never return to it, and then I'm like, God, I got to bring this up again. I feel Keith said he wasn't ready, but now he hasn't come back to me yet. And like, you know what I mean?
It makes you question the true interest of the person you're trying to connect with.
Yes.
So if you're the person that needs to step away or isn't ready to have it at that moment, or has something going on, or you're in an argument and you need to step away from the conversation and kind of regulate yourself a bit, completely acceptable, great tool, great strategy to have. Just make sure that you're the person then that comes back to it, right? If you step away, you got to be the one that initiates that again.
Yes. Yeah. This is awesome, guys. Let's keep it going, guys, before we wrap it up. AJ, you got a couple more minutes for us, brother?
Yeah.
Awesome. Guys, support equals success. A study in the International Journey of Applied Positive Psychology found that, this is an obvious one, but sometimes obvious things aren't so obvious, found that couples who actively support each other's goals are happier. And it's not just cheering from the sidelines. It's about making progress together. And so if you're not helping each other grow, what's the point? Right. So it's helping, I know Lauren's getting after some big marathons coming out. What can I do to help her make sure she hits her goals? Right. Johnny, with some things that Terry's working on, what can you do to help? But it goes both ways, right? What can Terry do to help Johnny? What can Lauren do to help Keith? What can Melissa do to help AJ? It's this idea of supporting each other's success, but not just cheering from the sidelines, doing it together. Zeglen, starting with you first.
Yeah. You have to be actively involved in it. Right. And there's a saying that I love, and it's that, and you'll see this sometimes in couples, this happens, but it's action offends the inactive, right? So if you have a couple together and all of a sudden one partner gets into something and is like, hey, I suddenly have an interest in my physical fitness. I want to run a marathon. I get going, right? And then they start running and they get into that, and the other partner is completely inactive. And all of a sudden, it's almost like they take it personally, right? They don't get actively involved in it. They don't support it. And now it, what should be something that should be celebrated as the couple together. Like, hey, you're taking an interest in your health. That's fucking awesome. Like, I love that. Let's support. This is great. Maybe I'll do that too, right? Instead, it ends up creating this bit of a divide, right? Because, like I said, action offends the inactive. My partner is there. I'm still sitting on the couch. Now all of a sudden I seem to be offended. Like, oh, what? This life isn't good enough. You got to go do this or that or whatever, right? So be actively involved. Make the effort. It is so easy, the longer you've been with someone, to lose some of that genuine support, to put that effort in for it. Don't ever let it go, right? If you just met someone and you're getting to know them and you're trying to press them, you're all over their hobbies. You're supportive of everything they do or whatever. Keep that genuine effort in the relationship and try to support that with all your heart. If you ever find yourself having a negative thought about it, challenge yourself and be like, okay, that's easy for me to tear down my partner about this or poke fun at him about this or whatever. I'm just gonna try and put it out there. Like, how would I try giving them a genuine compliment about it and showing I'm really interested and I'm very supportive about it, and just see the positive effect that has on your relationship, right?
Next one,
totally. And then sometimes even everything you said is so perfect, brother. And then to kind of go another layer into that, maybe you've got a partner who is started running too. Like, well, here's a perfect example. Terry and myself, we both were competitive bodybuilders, right? So she based it to her first national level competition, which was actually a pro-am with one of mine, which was great. So it's the first one she's ever been to. My contest is just a Grand Prix, so it's something I've been to plenty of them, but hers was a special moment. So that was where I had to realize, okay, this is one of those times where I have to make sure that I support her in a way that lets her know that I recognize this is this pinnacle where she is. And in that situation, unfortunately, what happened was she competed on the first day of the contest. I competed on the second day. So I was with her backstage and helping her and blah, 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 on my fucking feet when all the guys I was competing against tomorrow were fucking feet up, totally resting and recovering. But it was like, you know what? I have to realize that the sacrifice of me giving her the attention in this really special moment is more important than me being at my best in something that I do all the time.
Yes, yes. Hey, we're talking the psychology of love, groundbreaking insights into the science of relationships. Myself, Keith Bellis, Jon Andersen, and our boy, the mind fuel and mental performance expert, AJ Zeglen. And this next one, guys, is a pillar in the lab we talk about all the time. And this is black and white. There's no grayness here. More sex, longer life. Yeah, life expectancy work. The Journal of Sexual Medicine study analyzing over 5,000 participants found frequent sex is linked to a longer lifespan. Boys, get after it, man. Especially for those with high blood pressure. Sexual health is real health. Prioritize it. And hey, Jon and Keith like to talk about habit stacking. This is a great way to start your day. Well, hey, listen, maybe you want to start the alarm first thing in the morning. You want to have some fun with the wife. Then you want to start the show with us. Maybe this is a great habit to link to life expectancy work, guys. Just saying. Next one up here, guys. Humor keeps relationships strong. AJ, laughing together isn't just fun. It's relationship survival. A psychological study found that couples who use humor during conflicts stay together longer. If you can't laugh through the tough moments, you might be in trouble. AJ, comment on this.
That's good.
Yeah, it's so powerful, man. It's one of the best tools that we have, right? It helps keep our perspective. I can just speak from my own personal experience. Obviously, we have a child with a disability. And just last year, my wife, Melissa, was going through treatment for cancer, right? Which was a pretty scary time. I can't tell you the amount of times that we just died laughing about something. Like where we were just,
I got goosebumps.
Obviously the stress is high, the tensions, you know what I mean? There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of things that you can't control in the situation. And I think
love that, dude.
We just got a great way of sensing it with one another. And man, we would make some jokes while we're sitting in the room waiting for the doctor to come in or whatever. I won't repeat probably the most inappropriate jokes. People would be like, you guys joke about that, you know? But man, we would be like almost crying. Like it was just such a relief where you just got this release, right? To be like, yeah, this sucks, but you know what? Like we're here together and we're doing it and we'll make it through. We've been through hard things and I think humor has been one of the greatest gifts that me and Melissa have had in our relationship with each other.
So good, brother. So good. Because you think about it, you can take, it's like you guys were basically just taking this moment in time and you were 100% present in the enjoyment of each other with the humor, and all the other shit had drifted away. That's why it was so fucking powerful. And I don't think that people recognize, like, that's one of the things I try to do is I try to make Terry, laugh. And sometimes we're successful, sometimes we're not. But when I get her really fucking laughing, everything else in the fucking world drifts away for that little period of time.
Yeah. The bottom line is this, guys, love isn't magic. It's a process you can understand, improve, and master and work at every single day. Prioritize quality communication, humor, and shared growth. Guys, love is an investment. The better understand it, the greater your return. So good conversation, guys. Man, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love when we get into relationship talk. You know why? Because people don't expect it. People don't expect Keith, Johnny, and AJ to have these kind of conversations. So the fact that we're having them, and I
think we're uncovering perspectives that can be really helpful to people.
100% agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I got Adam Bird waiting for us in the green room. Johnny's got to rock and roll. AJ's going to rock and roll. Quick last minute from the both of you. AJ, starting with you, brother. What do you got on the agenda today, pal?
I'm in the gym with some hockey academies, and I'm in the clinic later. And ready to go. The boys are here today.
We're going to be teaching Johnny hockey lessons for the next 2 months, AJ. Just saying.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, the boys are here today. They got a practice here today, and
nice.
Yeah, man. I mean, just around the building, it's just electric, right? The anticipation for this moment and getting back to the playoffs and seeing what we can do has been on everyone's radar now, like the whole year, right? So now that the time is finally here, and obviously we're playing well, and the mood and the vibe is awesome, and it's going to be a fun time to be around work the next couple months.
It's going to be awesome. Johnny, what do you got on your agenda today, brother?
Well, I'm basically going to go right through that doorway and train.
Yes.
And then I basically got a fucking a wonderful fucking day ahead. I've already premeditated, and I've literally mentally lived through all my tasks, and I'm already created positive associations with all of them. So there's nothing ahead of me that I'm not looking forward to.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, boys. Well, listen, Johnny, we'll catch up with you later, pal. AJ, I appreciate you. Thanks for the conversation, guys. I'm going to walk you guys out. I got Mr. Adam Bird coming in here. You guys have a good one, okay?
Have a good loop, brother. Thank you, AJ.
Take care, brother. All right, Jimmy, we're going to keep it rolling, pal. Guys, listen, have you ever thought mainstream media was one just big noise machine? Today's guest just didn't complain about it. No, he built an entire network to give community heroes the mic. Instead, coming up in a minute, we got Adam Bird joining us. But Jimmy, let's reset the show here. Mornings Allowed with Keith and Friends, the only morning show to help you guys get your ass out of bed, 8 o'clock Eastern time, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. And then we drop it after on Apple and on Spotify, and coming up on the Heroes Media Group Network. Yeah, we're going to be the official morning show for Adam's network of awesome podcasts. But the frank reality was I just haven't got my shit together to give Adam the stuff he needs to get that going. Yeah, true story. Why? I've been busy putting on the show every single day of the week. I love it. We got Adam Bird joining us. Hey, guys, if you missed the first hour of the show, we started off the first hour of the show. You do not need to go to the gym to work the lower body. No, we gave you guys some workout tips to get after it at your home. True story. Jimmy, what did we talk about next? We talked about journaling next. We talked about the power of journaling, what happens when I started journaling and how it changed my life, how it helped open my eyes to the things that I didn't see. Journaling, get after, guys. Then we talked about love, the science of love, and how it's going to make us better partners, better human beings. So that's been the whole show we've had here today. And we had Jerry Riles, who's supposed to join us in the lab today, but we had some technical issues, so Jerry was not able to join us. I know Jerry's going to get after with us in the coming days. But Jimmy, without further ado, here's we go. We got joining us today, we got Adam Bird coming in. He's the visionary founder of the Heroes Media Group. Adam has built an innovative platform that gives community heroes from veterans to final responders the recognition and voice that they truly deserve. Now, when he's not revolutionizing podcast production, nope. He's proudly celebrating his son's latest milestone, college graduation. Get after it. Listen, let's get ready for a lively conversation on storytelling, shaking up mainstream media, and why positivity sells. Jimmy, let's bring in the man, Adam Bird. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Above ground, breathing. Life is great.
That is the way to get after it. So, hey, I had you sitting back in the green room. I know you were observing. Any insight to offer about our conversation on love this morning, Mr. Adam?
And I got to tell you, that's a hard act to follow. Great conversations with those gentlemen. And when you're talking relationships and whatnot, communicate. They hit it nail on the head. You know, communication is key in any relationship. And I think, I'll put my 2 cents in. One of the things that I do when communicating is, whether it's my wife or somebody, another family member, and they're coming to me saying something. And as men, we're problem solvers. We're like, oh, we need to do this. We need to do this. And I'll just sit there. I'll kind of bite my lip and I'll be like, okay, my question is, how do you want me to respond?
Yes.
If at all.
Yes.
I don't want you to respond. I'll just sit there. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just wait for the next day. And then if you want me to respond, my next question after that is, do you want me to tell you what I think you want to hear? Or do you want me to be honest with you?
Love it. Love it. Adam Bird, military veteran, started a media company called the Heroes Media Group. Yeah. Adam, what was the defining moment for you that made you decide to launch Heroes Media Group?
It's actually my my second venture in media. So I had we started a veteran podcast network in 2012 and ran that for 3.5 years. Had a business partner, friend at the time, and we just had different visions, so we separated. You know, it's often like what happens, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But when I first cut my teeth in radio, it was like, hey, we can't say certain things down here, and the guy in the back couldn't hit the beep button fast enough. So it was like, let's take this online. And it was at a time where a lot of that wasn't happening yet. And then, you know, fast forward to 2015, rebranded into Heroes Media Group. I wanted to open it up, not just to the military veterans, my brothers and sisters in arms, but I wanted to open it up to what we call community heroes, your law enforcement, firefighters, first responders, educators. And then there's a clergy piece in there as well. And here's the nice thing about it is anybody can be a community hero. You know, it could be a neighbor or whatnot. Yeah. But I wanted to focus more on positive stories. You don't hear, I would be one that, you know, mainstream media is a propaganda machine that it consumes a lot of negativity in the world. And they do share some positive stories, but I think there's more positive stories out there that aren't being told. And I kind of wanted to start getting people's mindset to shift into let's look at this as a more positive thing as opposed to the negative.
So you describe mainstream media as a propaganda machine. What's the most outrageous mainstream media myth that Adam Bird you'd love to bust today?
That they're telling the truth.
Let's lean into that because I have a POV on that as well. Go after it. You start.
No, I mean, let's take any story that you see. Everything, it isn't about. It's all about who's first. Who can break a story first? Forget the facts. Forget what really happened. If you look, I tell everybody, like when you see something that's breaking, right? Like breaking news, give it 72 hours, and I'd almost bet the farm that story is going to change 5 times in the next 72-hour period.
What I think most people don't understand, and maybe we are understanding more of it today than we did yesterday. Most people don't understand that a news story starts from the end. Meaning, hey, Adam, here's the title of the story I want you to create. Oh, what are you talking about, Keith? Well, there's something happening over here. Here's the hook. Here's the title. Go create the story for it. Yeah. Most people think that that somebody's wandering around and all of a sudden news is going to fall from the sky and then they're going to write the news about it and then create the headline. No, actually, it doesn't work that way. It is, okay, I see there's something percolating over there. I need to make sure that I can get an audience to watch that percolation. So I need a hook. I need a headline. I need a business reason to have Adam read my content or watch it. So I'm going to make something up, quote unquote, to draw Adam in, even if it's a fact that I believe to be true that the world might not believe to be true. Right.
Or let's look at, how's it going to fit the narrative that we're trying to push at what
that's exactly what I mean. Yes.
What's the narrative this week?
Yes.
Here's the other thing. You look at these mainstream media outlets and whatnot.
Yes.
Why do you need an editor? If you're telling the truth on stuff, why do you need an editor before it goes live?
So that's a great question. So then how would you combat somebody who's like, but I want somebody to curate just what I need to know? That's what the editor's for.
Great. Here's the problem with society as a whole. We've become lazy.
I was just going to say, let's go through it's called drive-through news.
Like everybody carries around these pocket computers now, and it's like, you can look up anything and everything. I would ask your viewers, how many of you, sitting on the can, you're sitting there flipping through, or you're how much time do you spend on this? Just flipping through stuff. If that's the case, take 5 minutes and start looking stuff up yourself. Yeah. I'm not asking you. And I say this on my morning shows on Friday mornings. Don't believe everything I'm saying. If I'm bringing something to you, because I find it interesting, take it and look it up yourself and come up with your own conclusion. If we don't agree on it, great. That's fine. Let's have a conversation about it.
Yes. Adam, within the Heroes Media Group, we know that the barrier to entry to create a podcast today is relatively low barrier. Just start talking, create content. Yeah. With so many podcasts emerging, what's the secret sauce that helps a new podcast break through all of the noise? Give somebody listening right now who's thinking about starting a podcast or a show, be like, I don't know how to get through the noise. How do I do it, Adam Bird?
Yeah, it's one is consistency. And I take a step back. Don't start a podcast thinking you're going to be the next Joe Rogan or Howard Stern or whatever right off the bat. There's a process that you have to take to cut your teeth. But the big thing is you have a voice. Everybody has a story, and it's how you share your story, right? So it's how you share your story, present your story in an entertaining, consumable way. But and then on top of that is you have to be consistent with it. If you're going to do one show a month and not post on social media, and you just expect, well, I'm going to do a show and everybody's going to, I'll put it out on all these, what are now like 30, 40 different platforms that are out there.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to hear it. That's not the case. You have to tell people about it, and you have to be consistent with it. If you're not consistent with it, don't do it. Most people will stop after episode 5.
Yeah.
Because they don't realize it's like, I tell people, I probably talked more people. This is a horrible business idea, by the way, folks, but I've probably talked more people out of doing podcasts than I've talked them into doing it, because it's a part-time job.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. But yet everybody thinks that I'm just talking. No. But here's what I think people don't understand is that there's talking, then there's conversation with intention.
Yeah, right. And here's the thing, what type of podcast, when you're thinking about starting a podcast, what kind of podcast are you going to do? Like, when you started this, you had an idea.
Yeah.
You probably you probably wrote it down and blueprinted it out of what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
When I started, it was, I knew it was going to be 2 people right off the bat.
Yeah.
And then when I started my other podcast, I knew it was going to be an interview format. I wasn't going to do solo episodes on that. So I knew what I was going to do going into it. And then it's just a matter of being consistent and putting content. Now, when I say being consistent, what does that mean? It's just like, if you're committed to doing one show a week, do one show a week. If you're committed to doing bi-weekly, then do bi-weekly. I would at a minimum do bi-weekly, but then get on your social media platforms and get it out there.
The power of consistency, I believe, is the key game changer, because when I hear podcast, I hear somebody putting out a piece of content every now and then, my quote every now and then.
Yeah.
Right. And when it becomes consistent, it turns into a product. It turns into a show. It turns into an experience that becomes predictable for me. It's like, okay, I got content from Adam coming every week. That's why I've really struggled with the word podcast, Adam, because I think that it's given an unfortunate stain on the eye for people that are trying to create great, consistent content daily.
Yeah.
And then you get chucked into the bundle with everybody else who makes you look like you're just somebody who's doing it as a hobby. I had a guy last week, true story, man. Yeah. I had a guy last week who committed to coming on the show, and then his segment comes up, he doesn't show up. So I texted him, I'm like, are you not coming? He's like, oh, I couldn't figure it out. Like you just decided just to ghost me. Like, we prepared for you and everything. And what my message to him, Adam, was, this is not a hobby for me. This is my business.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's where I sometimes get frustrated with our industry collectively, is that there's this, they're just talking. No, actually there's purpose behind this.
Yeah. I was just going to, you just said it right there. How do you have a purpose? What's your purpose behind it? And here's the cool thing about it: life as a whole. What's your purpose in life?
Yes.
And if you can tie your purpose in life into creating a brand and doing a show, God, then you'll be unstoppable.
That's exactly it. All right, brother, let's do this. Let's do some rapid fire. I got Michael Ritoch joining me in the green room, coming for our next segment. Rapid fire round, my friend. I got a few questions for you. Boom, boom. Okay.
All right.
Podcast or audiobook?
Podcast.
Favorite guilty pleasure snack?
Ooh, Twinkies. I don't know.
The fact that you had to think about it so long, brother, knows that there's a big list here, and you're thinking, which one should I be honest to?
Dude, like, that's a horrible question to ask me.
Let's re-ask the question of our brother. What's your favorite guilty pleasure snack, my friend? Boom.
Ice cream.
Ah, there you go. Good. Mine's cookie dough right after it. I love that you had to think about it when you're like, okay, what should I say? No, it's fucking
there's so many.
It's fucking ice cream. Worst podcasting pet peeve?
Smacking your lips.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. And then best advice that you, Adam Bird, have ever ignored.
Believing in myself.
Oh, brother, we got to have you back just for that conversation. The idea of limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
Woo, Jimmy, let's write this one down. Adam's just got an invite back for a second conversation, this time with Keith and Johnny and Marty, because limiting beliefs is something we talk about often on the show. I was just talking about earlier on the show here, Adam, where I sat down with ChatGPT and it told me to fucking smarten up about all my limiting beliefs. I'm like, oh, yeah, right. Because it presented a bunch of logic. And I was like, oh, yeah, those limiting beliefs that I have in my head. And it gave me all the logic why I shouldn't have it. I was like, okay, thanks for reminding me. Right. So closing question for you, my brother, here today. If you could broadcast one inspiring message to the entire world right now, what would it be?
Jump.
Oh, man, dude, you're just fucking going here today, man. I love it. Adam Bird joining me here today from the Heroes Media Group, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. Adam, before we say goodbye to you, I could have you here for hours. As you know, we had a good coffee here last week. Where can Business Athlete Nation, Mornings Nation find you besides Heroes Media Group? As you know, I'm looking forward to working with you, and I'm going to be doing a lot of pumping and promoting about HMG coming forward. But where can folks connect with you? How can folks find you? How can folks connect with Heroes Media Group and Adam Bird?
I appreciate it. You can go to Mr. Adam Bird on all social media platforms, and you can go to at Heroes Media GRP on all media platforms. And then if you go to heroesmediagroup.com is a website. So yeah,
that's awesome. Adam, what do you got going on today, brother?
Man, I tell you what, packed day full of meetings. Talking with you a little bit later this afternoon, I believe, as well.
Yes,
and then date night with the wife later.
Oh yeah, brother. You're just hitting you're hitting the bats here today. We're talking relationships, and Adam's leaving the lab here today for a full day. I'm hooking up with him today. He's got a date with his wife. Brother, I appreciate you, man. I really enjoyed our conversation this morning. I'm sorry it was so short. I'll look forward to grabbing you coffee later today and looking forward to doing some work with you, okay?
See you later, brother. Take care. Thank you.
Take care. All right, Adam's going to get out of here, Jimmy. I'm going to reset here the next segment. And Jimmy, we got a guest coming up here who's here to tell you why failure, I said failure, might just be the secret to success. So guys, buckle up because we're going to dive deep into becoming who you truly are. We're hitting into the community corner segment of Mornings Live with Keith and friends. I'm your host. I'm Keith Bills. We are into the second hour, the bottom of the second hour. We kicked off the first hour of the show today talking about, Jimmy, what did we talk? We talked about being in the gym. We've talked journaling today. We had Adam Bird come through here today from the Heroes Media Group, an incredible media platform for a bunch of our military veterans and also community leaders. And now we're moving into a segment with Michael Ritoch. Now, I got to be honest, guys, I'm probably saying his name wrong. And I know the first thing he does when he was going to get on stage is going to correct it. But today we're joined by Michael. I'm not even going to say his last name, Ritoch or Ritoch. That's one of the things with this job is you learn how to say people's last names. Entrepreneur extraordinaire. We celebrated him in the Community Corner, Creator Spotlight. He's a master recruiter of executive talent. He's a self-proclaimed best breather he's ever met. Michael shares insights on turning life setbacks into your greatest strengths, from his compelling writings on the art of becoming to his knack for assembling powerhouse leadership teams. We're about to uncover the secrets over the next 15 minutes with Michael here on authentic growth and why success sometimes needs a little failure first. Guys, let's bring him in. Mornings Live with Keith and friends is excited to introduce you to Michael Ritoch or Ritoch. Michael, how do I say your last name, brother?
Hey, it's Ritoch, buddy.
Oh, you're me. There you go. Good. How are you today?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm awesome. Where are you joining us from today, pal?
Irvine, California.
Oh, you got up early for us. Thanks, brother. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm usually up around 5:30, but I figured I'd do it for you guys. I got dressed up. This is the most I ever do. So
that's awesome, man. I appreciate that. Hey, listen, you describe yourself as the best breather his body has ever produced. And I'm eager to hear about this idea of the championship breathing techniques that you've discovered and developed for yourself.
It's just a show up. That's all it is. That's really what it meant, is a show up. It's I'm a big believer in pain.
Oh.
And that's the thing. And so you have to breathe through everything. So everything I do has to have some bit of suffering in it. So when I say failure is the key, I really tell you that it's really more pain is the key. If you don't dive deep into your pain, into any pain, you're not going to get anywhere in life. So for example, you were talking relationships before. Am I right?
Yeah.
Most relationships are great in the beginning, but I've been with my wife 35 years. Okay. And
She might be listening.
well, she is listening. She is listening. So everything I do has to be good for her. But relationships aren't easy. They're painful.
Oh, yes.
They're painful. And I mean it's and then you get family that comes involved in all this, right?
Yes.
You get kids, right? And kids are great. And then they have their first crap in their pants. And I remember my daughter comes home for the first time. My oldest comes home, and I swear to God, my wife goes, "Why don't you go change that diaper?" I went through 5 diapers. I didn't think a girl that was this big can make that much crap. Okay, that's painful, right? But the funny thing about it is you have to dive into it, because one bit of pain, by the time you go through the next bit of pain and you look back, right, it isn't that big of a deal anymore. Okay. And that's the thing. So to me, it isn't just failure you have to go through. Actually, more importantly, you have to be willing to suffer. And no suffering, no growth, no nothing.
Yeah. Michael, what do you think's the greatest misconception people have about success?
Not easy.
That it's easy.
It's easy. That and the other misconception is that they can't be successful.
The limiting belief idea, right?
Well, I think everyone has it.
Yes.
Everyone has it. I mean, you show up, and is anyone going to, you probably, when you first started this, right?
Yeah.
You started the mornings in the lab.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just hoping someone to watch.
Yeah, you're right. And nobody did.
And then you have to show up the next day, and then you're hoping again. And
yes.
You keep doing and that's the thing, right? And like your previous guest, Adam Bird, right? Being consistent. But you could be as fucking consistent as you want to be, and still it may not happen.
Yes. That's
the thing, right? You could be the most talented guy in the world, and it still may not mean anything.
Yeah,
that's painful. It sucks.
Yeah, and it's learning how to accept the pain, walk towards the pain, and arrive at it and embrace the pain. We talk about it all the time, walking towards failure, right?
Yeah.
Failure is absolutely on the journey to success, right? So, Michael, what's one story your close friends always tease you about professionally?
Well, that I suck at everything.
Oh yeah, there you go. I knew that was going to be the answer. Yeah.
I suck at everything. I fail at everything. I'm not that great. I don't write well. I'm not. My wife, when she first met me, laughed at me all the time. Everything I do sucks, but I still go through show up. But anyway, there's not one story. It's my whole fucking life is like that way. I have no problem showing up, walking, failing, not doing anything. I have this thing. So for example, right now, I'm preparing. I think I told you I'm preparing for a little hike through Spain. It's called the Camino de Santiago.
Yes.
And I'm just it's my 5th one that I've done, and it's about anywhere from 500 to 1,000 kilometers. This time I'm only doing 500 kilometers, and I run it.
You run it.
I run it. Okay. And our North my daughters are showing up with me this time, and we're going to hang out and stuff like that. But I suck at that. But the funny thing is, I suck at it the next day, and I suck at it the next day, and I suck at it the next day.
Yes.
And most people only suck at it once. Only once.
Yeah, because they don't want to go the next day.
Well, they know they've done it. See, in their mind, they did it. I ran my marathon. But my marathon's the next day.
Yeah.
My marathon's again the next day, and over and over. That's the thing.
You're drinking the same Kool-Aid we drink here in the lab here, Michael, because we talk about it every single day. We kick the show off, which is what we call the morning loop, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's just, I believe, John believes, the philosophies, the values of this show believe that life is really just a loop. There's no end. And that's why we struggle with, and John and I struggle oftentimes, is when we hear people talking about challenges, or I'm doing something that has an end date to it. Because when you have an end date to it, I think psychologically we're done. Like you said, I've done my marathon. Well, look, do it again tomorrow. Well, I can't. Why not? limiting belief, right? Live your life every single day. Live the loop. You get consistent at your loop and get boring at your loop, you might do some pretty spectacular things.
Well, I'm gonna slightly agree with you and slightly disagree with your
Please.
loop.
Yeah.
I want you to take that loop and extend it.
Yes.
Okay. And you have this part, it's called birth, and you have this part, it's called death.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you do have an end date.
Yes.
It's there.
Yes.
And it is a very short road or long road, however you want to be, right? But you will have it. You will die. Okay. And you have a marathon that if you just want to show up tomorrow and that's all you want to do, and that's it, and don't want to do it again, well, when you die, you can have that one story.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one story? Well, I want my one story to be freaking one big long whole bunch of adventures and stuff like that. But
Yes.
it's going to have a lot of shitty stuff in the process.
Yes.
Right? It's going to have all of that stuff. Like I had a daughter. I think you know this, right? My daughter was born when she was born. A couple months later, she had a brain tumor.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And that fucking sucked.
Yes.
But people said they would always come to me, oh, I'm so sorry she went through it. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, and I was, so you don't get the fucking point of all that. So what's the point? And they're like, I'm like, looking, I would get, because that's one thing. Like the one thing everyone tells me I'm too intense, but I thought, like, you understand, the point is this: she lived. She fucking lived. And then and it struggled and it sucked. But I'm gonna tell you this, one of the best moments of my life is dancing with my daughter, holding her in my arms in the hospital room, and we're dancing to Mustang Sally. And the old,
Yeah.
remember the Commitments,
Yes.
I had that, they're playing. It's 1993. I'm listening to that CD in the hospital room, and it was just one of these great fucking moments. And I'm like, they're like, well, how do you consider a great moment? Because at that one moment, I didn't know if I was gonna have my daughter tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so that, not that circle, that line. I didn't know how long I was gonna have her. So I said, I am gonna enjoy this one fucking moment with my daughter. And then I have this collection of moments, have all these different things. My wife and I, we got married a year after my daughter was born, and she had this cancer. She had, by that time period, already had a bone marrow and stem cell transplant. She had it before she was 10 months old. She had already had, what, 8 surgeries before she was a year old. Okay, so life is this collection of oh shit, oh fuck, right, moments. But sometimes those oh shit, oh fuck moments are just super great, and they suck. Sometimes they suck.
When you're
You have
faced with those moments, life becomes very big and very small at the same time. But I really appreciate it, and I thank you for sharing your ability to capture the awareness of the moment.
Yeah.
And because I think there's power in that many of us men forget about when we're going through things, right? And that it's important to be in the moment. And like you said, and I love, and man, you gave me goosebumps. She fucking lived. And the fact that you choose those words, which is you're choosing to lean into the positive feelings of that situation, that's magical, Michael.
So you know how we were talking about the one marathon? I did my one marathon.
Yeah.
Right. And then people think that's it. Well, here's the thing about pain, right? It comes back again. When my daughter was 20 years old, she gets cancer again.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
And she had stage 4 cancer. So this time, from having one tumor, she had 12 tumors throughout her body,
Oh my
and they
goodness.
were all the size of a fist.
Yeah.
I mean, and imagine being 20 years old and being told by your doctor that you're not going to live. And that's her. The
Yeah.
funny thing is, I'm like, oh my God, this is scary. This is scary. She's like going, okay, when do I go back to college?
Yeah.
she let me tell you, so February, right? She's 20 years old. It's I remember it's towards the end of February. It's 2013, and she tells me, I have a little bump right here on my neck.
Okay.
She goes, it's like the size of an eraser. I said, well, it's probably an infection. Go get it checked out. She goes get it checked out. She says, oh, they don't know what it is. So give me antibiotics. 2 weeks later, that bump, that little eraser, right? That little big, right?
Yeah.
Was the size of her fist.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
And then she wouldn't come home. She said, oh no, I'm going to stay in college. Let me finish I'm going to hang out with my friends, finish my, I said, no, I think you're, so I had to go get her, bring her back, do the dad thing,
Yeah.
Right. Come back, and all she wanted was, I'm going to go back to school.
Yeah.
So her thing, I'm going to go back to school. I just want her to live the next day. But the funny thing is that about all this is, after all that she was done, she had her regimen of chemo was Monday through Friday, chemotherapy. She took Saturday and Sunday off and did it again Monday through Friday. This went on for 4 weeks, took 1 week off for tests, and did that a whole process. When she didn't have chemo, it was her it was her, because her blood counts are too low.
Yeah.
After she was done, 2 years of all this, 2 years, she had chemo, radiation, surgery. She was 20 years old. We had just finished everything. She was bald. She went from weighing 108 pounds to weighing 78 pounds. Okay. She looked like she was out of Auschwitz. It was just scary. Okay. She's finished. No more. We're going in, we're driving to, we're going up this road from Laguna Beach, California, going to the hospital, going for a thing. And the doctor says, she goes, and we're going for her last doctor's appointment. And I'm just listening, thinking somehow she made it. And she goes, it wasn't that hard. And I'm like, how you're in your thoughts? I go, what wasn't that hard? She goes, all of that.
Wow. Michael, what did you learn from your daughter during this whole experience?
I am fucking tough. I am not that strong. I am not strong. That is strong. I mean, I had a horrible childhood, do all this stuff. It was not great. I thought I knew the meaning of suffering.
Yeah.
But no.
Wow. You're hanging out with Keith Phillips, Michael Ritoch, Mornings Live with Keith and Friends. We're on the Community Corner segment. Michael's doing some wonderful sharing with us this morning. Michael, I got some rapid fire questions for you before we work our way towards our creator spotlight. So here's how this works. I'm going to throw a few questions on you. You're going to instantly boom back to me.
Okay.
Favorite guilty pleasure TV show?
Oh, just finished it. The Pit.
The Pit. Good choice. Early bird or night owl?
Both. I don't sleep.
Burning the candle at both ends. We're going to have you back for that conversation. One book you've reread multiple times?
Oh my God. I read about 150 books a year. So, yeah. Baltimore Gracian. Okay. The Art of Worldly Wisdom. Meditations.
Oh yeah. Good choices.
Meditations.
Good choice.
Gandhi's book.
There you go.
His autobiography.
Yeah.
Just read. Let me tell you, just read. Pick up a book and read philosophy. I just read.
What is it about reading you enjoy, Michael? Is it I know it might be an obvious question, but I think it's less obvious myself. What do you enjoy about reading the different kinds of books? Is it the knowledge gained? Is it the different perspectives? Where does your joy come from when you read?
I don't know a lot.
Okay.
The fact that I know that I don't know a lot, and
yes,
it's a comforting thing. So, have you ever read The Apology by Plato?
I haven't. No.
The Apology by Plato is really kind of funny. It's basically about Socrates. He's on trial.
Okay.
And it's where in there, that's where we learn, you heard the phrase where Socrates says he knows he's wise because he knows he is not wise, right? He knows what he does not know, right? That's where it comes from, right? And there he's explaining to everybody all these different things. And in the process, he's telling us how we can be a citizen, all these different stuff. But that's the thing. I remember reading that when I was a kid, right? I was 16 years old, and it said, and it told me that I did not know a lot. And here's this guy who's supposed to be the world's wisest man. Okay, according to the Oracle of Delphi, says that Socrates is the world's wisest man, and he comes on and says, "Oh, I'm a disagree with the gods. I am not that smart." Wow. And I realized that is the way to approach life. And by the way, I didn't learn it at 16. I learned it at 48.
Look at you. Yeah.
And I read that the Apology like maybe 20 times before that. It's about 16, 18 pages long, 20 times in that time period. But it took me at 48 to realize, my God, and a part of the vernacular, part of my language, but I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Well, hey,
and that was joy. That was joy to realize that I was not that smart.
The joy to realize that there's power in that. Hey, Michael, two final kind of quick hitters at you, but the most embarrassing song you secretly love.
Oh yeah, Taylor Swift song. The what's it called again? my wife sings it to me all the time, but I just love it. It's one who says, it's one where she wakes up in the morning, oh, damn, it's 7 a.m. It's that one. It's one where
Yeah.
she's meeting with Katy Perry in the video. I don't know words, but whenever I like that song. My wife's taking me to go see after I come back from the Camino, and we're going to go see a Taylor Swift cover band, and I have no problem being a Swiftie. I kind of like that.
That's awesome. And then finally, I'm struck by the poster hanging over your right shoulder. It's in our point of view. There's clearly a reason for it. There's clearly a purpose and a meaning of that poster to you. You've got the Hulk in it. You got a bunch of characters in it. What does that poster mean to you and everything within that poster?
Well, so that's a comic book, and it was, I think it was 1977 or 76 when it came out. And it's the very first time that the Wolverine ever showed himself.
Yes.
And I was a small, big-haired kid. I was living in Iceland at the time when I read this comic book, and I love that character. And I was reading comic books since I was 4 years old. I just love it, right? And I thought, how scrappy would it be to be? And I was always getting picked on. I was getting in fights all the time. To be this guy that can go up there and fight your monster, your green guy. And I had a lot of them. And that monster was also going home, right? It was horrible childhood, going there and recognize that I can still come back fighting and be that. And that was what it was. And I thought it'd be kind of cool. And then I also never wanted to be the monster. And that's also a reminder that I don't want to be that monster as well.
Lauren comes in with "Calm Down" by Taylor Swift, giving us Lauren's my lovely wife here as well, listening in and giving us the goods.
That's it.
The poster underneath your shoulder struck me as soon as you got on the camera, because there's a reason. This poster behind me, Eminem, I was at the concert, and these things we share in front of the world when we do these types of things, there's a reason for them. There's a purpose behind them. And when I sat there and I first saw you when you were sitting in the green room, I was struck by it. I'm like, what's the reason for that? And I'm really grateful that you shared with me how you connected with Werewolf and the why there, because I think that's it tells a lot about who we are. And I can see that poster now, and I can hear your story. And to me, it tells me a lot about you as a human being. Because I know the character Wolverine, and I don't know. I'm 53. I'm thinking, what, you're 45, 48, 45?
I'm 59.
Oh, holy fuck! Really? Good for you, man. You got good lighting. I joke about it all the time. Good lighting makes us look younger. But I find when we share ourselves through the artifacts in our office, very relatable. It makes us relatable. I got producer Jimmy giving me the face of. So 59, good for you. Hey, before we get to the creator spotlight, which is we're going to celebrate somebody you put on the table, closing question for you, my brother. What's the strangest thing that you're genuinely most proud of? The strangest thing you're genuinely most proud of?
Strangest thing?
Yeah. Maybe the poster over your shoulder.
Oh, that poster's just it's just a poster. There is no strange thing. My life is simple. I wake up, I write, I read, I run, I do my stuff. So I'm just to say the strangest thing that I'm proud of is that somehow this beautiful woman that I was with, that met me 35 years ago, actually wants to stay with me for 35 more years.
Oh, dude, that's beautiful.
That's it. I cannot. I honestly, if you meet me, honestly, people think, Jesus Christ, you're just too much. But my wife must love it.
Yeah, you know what, pal? I'm appreciative you sharing that with me, and I'm gonna positively challenge you backwards here on this one. Okay. We as humans too often, question our own limiting beliefs, and I'm sure your wife loves you for all these awesome reasons. So even the reasons you think that are ridiculous, as you probably heard our conversation with AJ, that's why she loves you. That's why she sticks around. So I know that I'm hoping anyways, all of my fallacies is the full reasons that my wife loves me and hangs around. And that's what makes us enjoy our relationships, right? Which is these little moments where you're like, that's what it's all about, Michael. That's what's living. It's the moments going through that battle with your daughter, right? Those are the reasons, right? So,
yeah. Well, it's whatever it is.
Yeah,
keep it up.
that's exactly it.
I jokingly tell everyone is that the reason she's been with me for 35 years, she's had to be a big drinker because she stops drinking.
All right, well, listen, let's do the community corner. Let's take the old big ass light that I asked you to come here and celebrate with me. We celebrated you, and you gave us somebody who we're going to celebrate right now, which is some people tell stories and others see them everywhere, in a garage door that won't shut, at a donut shop full of tears, on an Alaskan cruise with a notebook in hand. They notice what most of us miss, the awkward, the hilarious, the oddly profound, and then they turn it into something unforgettable. Yeah, that's what this creator does that we're going to celebrate today. Week after week, for 6,000 loyal readers, this guy's not chasing trends. He's documenting the human circus with heart and humor. Vox, narratively, tablet. He's been there, but his real masterpiece is Situation Normal. This morning, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends, with my guest, Michael Ritoch, is extremely excited to introduce you to, Jimmy, let's bring it up, brother, Michael Estrin, former journalist, two-time Maggie Award winner, lawyer turned writer who studied comedy at UCB and somehow made the internet feel more like real life. He doesn't write to impress, he writes to connect, and somehow in the middle of a story about pet tarantulas or porn conventions, you'll find something that hits way too close to home. That's the magic. So if your feed feels empty, I invite you to go check out Situation Normal. If your brain needs a break from business and bullet points, go check out You Feel Human Again. Michael, what gave you the reason to celebrate Michael Estrin today here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends?
I think you got the wrong person. I celebrated Cameron Durant.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
So hold on. I do have, hold on. I do have that one too. So here we go. Yes, this is good. This is why we do it live, because I got two of them here. I pulled the wrong one up, but that's okay. So hold on. So Jimmy, we're going to keep this one going here. This is why we do live stuff. Jimmy, go back to the first one here, pal. I want to finish this segment with our segment with Michael Estrin. So Michael, here's how it works, brother. We're celebrating you here this morning. We'd love to have you here in the lab. We'd love to have you here in the lab to celebrate somebody in your orbit, like we're celebrating Michael Ritoch today. So there's somebody in your world. We want to bring you to the lab so we can celebrate you on the Creator Corner Community Spotlight here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Okay, so Jimmy, we're going to do the next one, Cameron Durant, but let me set it up. Michael celebrated somebody. We celebrated Michael a couple weeks ago, and we said, hey, Michael, we'd like you to put somebody on the stage for us to bring the light to. You ever meet someone who's done it all, but still talks like they've got something to prove? That's this guy, Cameron Durant. 4 exits, 20 brands launched, 5 broke the $1 billion mark. Yeah, this guy was nominated for the Prix Gallion. He's raised capital, closed deals, fixed what others have walked away from. He's led both startups and giants in biotech, pharma, medical devices, public companies, private ones, turnaround strategy. The guy's done it all. He's been named Entrepreneur of the Year, honored as one of pharma's most inspiring leaders. Dude, this guy just does everything. And somehow, apparently, he's just getting started. His name, Jimmy, let's bring him up again, pal. His name is Cameron Durant. Yes, he is. He is the founder, chairman, and CEO of Terran, an aspiring AI generalist, a global citizen who has lived and worked across continents. And this isn't a headline-chasing exec. This is a builder, a rebuilder, a leader who doesn't flinch when things break. He rolls up his sleeves and makes it better. I invite you to follow Dr. Cameron Durant on LinkedIn and learn how real leadership gets built one decision at a time. Dr. Cameron, would love to have you here in the lab, just like we have Michael here, so we can celebrate somebody in your orbit and keep moving this forward and paying it forward on the Community Corner Creator Spotlight. So Michael, why are we celebrating Dr. Cameron Durant today?
Well, not only is he brilliant, I mean, he is just stupid brilliant, stupid smart. That's the way to put it. Okay, the man knows, he will quote something out of the blue from nowhere.
Yeah.
But the man is just generally a wise person, just a kind person. He's also funnier than crap. He's from Wales. I don't know if you met anyone from Wales, but they're just obnoxiously funny. Okay?
How did you guys meet?
Yeah, they're just, you love them. You love them. And was that how we met at my brother's wedding?
Yeah.
He sat down at my table. It's one of those 3-day weddings. So we were at this dinner and sat down. He had no other where to go. He sat down next to me and said, "Okay, you're on a plane. It's been hijacked, and the hijackers are killing everybody along the way if they show the wrong passport. You have access to any passport. Which one would you give?" And I'm like, "I don't know." So I just said, "American or Pakistani?" He says, "Nope, you're dead." And he didn't say you're dead. You're fucking dead.
Yeah.
And this man killed me within 30 seconds of meeting. And then from there on, we just had a good time. We go, this guy's either could be, I'm just gonna hate him or I'm gonna love him. And I decided to love him. And then we're talking, we hung out, we had a lot of things in common. He's involved in cancer research, which is what I like. Okay. Yeah. And he's very, very, very smart. The one thing I have no talent in this world, Keith. My talent, but I have the talent to, except for one, I can recognize other talent, real talent, and Cameron is a real talent. But the thing that I like about him is that when I call him to do for something, he gives me advice. He's always there. He shows up every single time. He's that kind of friend. And plus, the man will dress up as Elvis Presley and go to an Elvis Presley festival. And I'm telling you, we're talking the whole sparkly fringe gear.
Love it.
He also will go to a biotech conference with 10,000 people there, and he'll have his hair in a mohawk painted purple, and he's there raising money, and he has no fear at all. That's the person you want in your life. The person that will show up and look Jamie Dimon in the eye and say, give me $100 million because I have and wear a mohawk at the same time. That's what you want. You want that type of guy in your life.
Oh yeah. I love that. Was he involved in your daughter's cancer?
No, not at all. But he's more in the actual the business side of stuff, right? So he builds the companies and such, and he wouldn't be involved, but he'd be the guy, like, say, for example, you want to recruit a guy to run your company. Yeah. He's the man that you want. I mean, he's brilliant guy. He was on J&J's executive team. I mean, he gets recruited all the time and turns down things all the time. So yeah, that's who you would want in your life. If you want to learn about leadership, which he does leadership development. He's also one of those other people who will do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, much more brilliant than anyone I know.
That's awesome. Michael Ritoch, I've thoroughly enjoyed our time together today on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. I've enjoyed the conversation. I'm enjoying what you brought to the table here today. How would you like to close it off today? Where can folks connect with you? Where can folks find you? How can folks find your Substack? How can folks engage with Michael Ritoch?
Well, unlike your previous guest, let's say go on every social media thing. And my daughters want me to go on every social to put myself out there. I love my life, right? So, but I have to go out there. So probably by the end of this day, I will probably be on Instagram. But right now, LinkedIn, Substack, The Art of Becoming. Look up Michael Ritoch, and that's it. So go on LinkedIn. You can find me at Michael Ritoch, right? You'll find me there, and reach out to me. And that's the way to do it. So, or Substack, you can send a message right now. And soon I will probably be on Instagram. I won't be on X. I'm not a big fan of X, so I will probably just be on Instagram and LinkedIn, and maybe one other one. I'll figure it out. But
how are you enjoying Substack, Michael?
I write. It forced me to show up to write. I like the fact that you could do everything on there. You have the Substack notes. I like that idea. I enjoy the fact that somehow you liked one of my pieces, which is, you must have been drunk, because honestly, no one ever likes my stuff. Okay, but it allows me to be me.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's why you're here.
Yeah.
Saw your content. I appreciated your content. I'm like, hey, I want to meet this guy. So we have big ambitions for our morning show, and it's helping men, meeting men like yourself. And I'm very grateful you took time out of your morning to get up to spend time with me this morning. I'm very grateful that we had somebody to celebrate with you here this morning. And I'm hopeful and I'm grateful that we'll stay connected. We'll stay connected on Substack, LinkedIn, and we'll stay in touch. And we'd love to have you back sometime to continue the conversation one day. Would you be open to that?
I would love it. I would love it. I believe we're meeting later on today, right?
I'm going to grab some coffee with you a little bit later today, so I can share more with you the vision and keep our connection after the show. Sound good to you?
I would love it. But Keith, I wish you a lot of success. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts because my day is like I listen to one or two, right?
Yes.
But I like what you're bringing.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like what you're bringing. I like the fact that you're real. I like what you said. It's like old time radio show where it's a conversation.
Yes.
And you're teaching by showing as opposed to telling, right? You know when they say when you write, don't tell. So
yes. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, your comment was really precinct when you said that day one when I showed up with this thing, March 11th of last year, Michael, nobody did show up. And you've used this word through our whole conversation of showing up. I'm a big believer in that. Momentum is created through movement, right? And I said to myself, if I do this every single day, people are eventually going to notice, and people are going to believe by showing instead of telling, that we can have a conversation for men to help start a day with a positive side of the day instead of all the negative bullshit that's already out there. Like it's already there, right? So it's like
we're born with it, right? There's I would like, for example, everyone goes, it's the mainstream. No, it's like you want it, right? It's not mainstream media or anything. It's where you're going, right? You have this cognitive bias. You're gonna find the thing that and you think, how many people go, I'm a positive person, but the first thing they do, they talk about all the negativity, they talk about all the politics, all that different stuff, right?
Yes.
Well, great. Because tell me this is what I tell everyone. Well, what book are you reading?
Yes. Yeah.
And if they tell me they aren't reading, that means they're listening to someone or watching someone that's telling them something, telling them how to think, which means they're not positive. They're not anything at all, right? So everyone goes, well, should I read your stuff? Yeah, but if you don't read my stuff, read a book.
Yeah.
Get off anything that's Wi-Fi or anything like that. Get off your phone and just go read a book. Don't just read a book. Do you read Ryan Holiday? Ryan Holiday, right?
No.
Ryan Holiday is a book I will love for you to get. It's called The Obstacles Way, and it's basically a term coming from Marcus Aurelius that everything that's in our way. We're talking about these offerings, this pain, the suffering, the failure.
Yeah.
That's the way you want to get through life.
Yes.
That failure, that obstacle. And so I tell everyone, just read. And then Ryan Holiday says, when you read, don't just read, write notes, underline, go through it, talk about it, and get into it and have a conversation with that author who might have been dead for 3,000 years or 100 years or something like that. Have that conversation. Tell the author, I agree with you. I don't agree with you. Get into it. But it's hard to do that, right? With a podcast, or on Instagram, you can't. It's hard. Other than like these little comments, and that's not agreeing. That's just being an asshole, right? Okay. I want to think. To me, I have to earn the right to be on a conversation, have a conversation with Keith. I have to earn that right, because to me, at my level, this is that limited belief. I believe you're up here, right, and I'm right down here. So for me to earn that right, I have to read, I have to do things, I have to write, I have to show up, I have to suffer, because you are earning that right, right? You're earning that right every day to be able to go online and say the things that you say.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that most people, I said, look, if I can solve the world's problems, I think I can solve most of the world's problems if I can eliminate 98% of the stuff that you listen to, that person listens to. If I can get you just to read books, and then shut up, because here's the thing: you don't need to have an opinion about everything. I just need to listen to Keith, and let Keith tell me something, and I don't need to have an opinion. I just need to learn what Keith has taught me. I don't have to have an opinion. Like your friend says, that people asking for advice from my wife. One of the things that's taught me over 35 years being with her, and she has told me, says, you don't need to tell me where I'm wrong. You don't need to tell me how to fix it. I don't need to have an opinion. I just need to listen. And that's the number one key. If I can just listen, I'm good.
The power of listening with Michael Ritoch. Well said, man. I'm not going to stand. I'm not going to stand on those words, because I could not say it any better than that. The greatest thing that I did with this show is it taught me how to listen. and it was actually for a production reason. I had my producer in the first few months, Michael, saying, Keith, stop talking over the guests so we can create good content. So I had to spend more time listening instead of thinking about what I was going to say next. And man, it has increased my listening skills. It's increased the post-production of the show. It's increased the conversation quality because it's made me be more in tune with what you're having to say, not thinking about what I'm saying next. And it's made me a better interviewer by listening.
You're brilliant at it. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're brilliant. And you can't just look, I don't believe just listen and do and be passive, right? I'm not that guy. Okay. But you have to have active listening skills, right? So part of it is like what you do. You have to be able to ask that question in the between. But you have to be like you're deep into it. Like when I'm talking, I can see you nodding your head. I can see you're into it. Like how often you talk to people and you see their eyes just go that way.
Yes.
Go that way, right? Like I use my youngest daughter, and when she was little, like she like look me in the eye, and she'll be like.
Right.
So I had to get her face and go, look me.
Yes.
and it's because it's nervous, but people they're just into themselves, and it bothers. Like, well, I wasn't sure I was going to take this going on this thing because I don't want to be about me. I mean, I already had 59 years of just my birthday just turned the other day was 59. And that was the thing. I don't want it to just be about me. I want honestly, Keith, I just want to know you.
Yeah.
I just want to know you.
So did you feel like so let me ask you then, you were hesitant before you got into this, but I hope that you discovered through this that this was actually really about a conversation. It really wasn't about you. It was about a conversation because at the end of the day, this is still quote unquote my show. And I love saying that because this is what I want to talk about. And I want to listen to what you have to say and I think use my skills, take us in a direction where the audience wants to be curious. So I know the audience is saying, ask the guy about the poster behind him, ask them this. So it's my role to take what the audience is wondering and ask you about it. Did we deliver on a wonderful conversational experience for you?
So I'll tell you a little secret. So I went last night. I saw you a couple when you sent the thing a couple weeks ago, and I was look at it. I did it really quick, and then like I was probably going to be like that when you talk about that one guy that ghosted you. I was like, this is just. I just want to write. I just want to read.
Yeah.
I just want to do my stupid painful shit that I do in the morning, right? Every day, right? Okay. But I don't like to be a ghoster, and I want to be a guy. If I say I do it, it's the one thing I say. Look, if you say it, do it.
Yes.
I mean, look. There's times you can't keep your promise because life happens that way, right? But if you say it, you're going to do it, right? That's the thing. Okay. So I said, okay. So I watched a whole bunch of stuff of your stuff yesterday. I go, yeah, I kind of like this guy. One is I want to be more like you.
Oh, thank you.
You're just really good at what you do.
Thank you. It's really kind of you.
You're seriously really good. I think if anyone doesn't watch this, they're stupid.
Oh. Jimmy, get this guy a check, man. This is officially the longest show we've done, and the fact that you're a part of it is actually pretty humorous. And right now, I'm sure my wife is listening, rolling her eyes, just going, "Oh my god!" But
what's your wife's name again? What's her wife's name?
Lauren.
Lauren. And you guys are in Canada, right?
We are, yes.
I would love your wife to meet my wife so they could both roll their eyes at us together. Okay.
With our own limiting beliefs. Hey guys, listen, we're gonna work towards wrapping it up. Clearly, Keith and Michael could talk forever here, which I'm thoroughly enjoying our conversation. I'm thoroughly enjoying you. I'm looking forward to having a further coffee with you down the line. And let me ask you this: will you come back again and hang out with myself and Johnny? Because Marty, because you said something which I want to lean more into, which is this idea of talking to an author even if they're dead. And I want to bring you here with me. I started the show today talking about journaling. Often people go, I don't know what to fucking journal. I don't know what to write. I got an empty page of paper. But I like that you said if you're reading something, even if the author's dead, have a conversation. And to me, it's almost like journaling. There's a paradox happening there, which is getting what's in your head onto a piece of paper, digitally or analog, or however it is. But there's something there. And I think we can lean more into that conversation. I'd love to have it with you. Would you have it with me in the future?
We'll love it. Just let me know. I'll be there.
Awesome. All right, guys, Michael Ritoch, you can find him on LinkedIn. You can find him on Substack. The dude's bringing it every single day. He got up for us here in the lab, and he is the werewolf in disguise. Oh, yeah, that's him. He's the werewolf in disguise.
Wolverine.
I'm sorry, the Wolverine in disguise. Yeah, the Wolverine in disguise. I go, Michael Ritoch. Thanks for correcting me, brother. I appreciate you. We'll talk to you in a couple hours. Okay.
Take care, buddy.
All right, take care. All right, Jimmy, we are still at it, pal. We're going to work towards wrapping it up here, guys. And how we're going to do that is I'm going to go back and do a segment here just so we have it on recording. And Jeremy, I appreciate you still hanging out with us, man. You are awesome. You're still hanging out with us here. Not bragging, but I mapped AGI for real. I think he's on point. I think you're probably right. And after yesterday, I got an offer. You're great luck. Oh, no, I think you're great luck because you're hanging out with us, brother. I very much appreciate you hanging out with us yesterday and today, and I hope you'll come back tomorrow. 8 o'clock Eastern time, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X, and of course on podcast, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts after. All right, Jimmy, let's do it, brother. Let's do it. I got it. Some people tell stories. I'm doing this one again. Yeah. Others see them everywhere. In a garage door that won't shut, at a donut shop full of tears, on an Alaskan cruise with a notebook in hand. They notice what most of us miss. The awkward, the hilarious, the oddly profound. And they turn it into something unforgettable. Yeah, that's what this creator does that we're going to introduce you to today. Week after week for 6,000 loyal readers. 6,001 now since Uncle Keith subscribed. Yep, there's another true story for you. He's not chasing trends. No, this guy, he's documenting the human circus with heart and humor. Jeremy, we'll see you tomorrow, brother. Come back tomorrow, okay? 8 o'clock Eastern time. Vox, narratively, tablet, this guy's been there, but his real masterpiece is Situation Normal. Jimmy, the guy we're going to introduce Nation to this morning is Michael Estrin. Yes, Michael is a former journalist. He's not a Simpson. No, he's a former journalist, a 2-time Maggie Award winner, a lawyer turned writer who studied comedy at UCB, and someone who made the internet feel more like real life. He doesn't write to impress, he writes to connect, and somehow, in the middle of a story about pet tarantulas or porn conventions, you'll find something that hits way too close to home. That is the magic. Yeah. So if your feed feels empty, if your brain needs a break from business and bullet points, read Situation Normal. It won't just make you laugh. It will make you feel human again. And Jeremy, we'll see you later. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow and see you tomorrow on the show here. So guys, listen, Michael Estrin, we're inviting you to the show here. Love to have you on the show, Morning in the Lab with Keith and Friends, so we can give you the Morning in the Lab light and celebrate somebody in your orbit as part of our Community Corner Creator Spotlight here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. I'm just trying to get my buttons going, Jimmy. There we go. All right. Woo. Can I sigh, producer Jimmy? Holy smokes, man. Yes, sirree. Just looking at some notes here. All right. We're going to get out of here. Yes, we are way overtime, Jim. Okay, so tomorrow we're back at it, guys. Episode 2027. Today is 2026. Tomorrow in the lab, I'm going to quickly show it to you guys. Talking about, oh, yes. I stopped watching the news. As the pandemic was happening, I stopped watching it. Yeah, felt happier. I still consume news, but I consume it differently. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. And actually, Michael Ritoch leaned into a little bit today about just getting up and consuming your head with all the negative junk. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. And we do have some guests as well tomorrow on the show. Having a quick little peek here. Jimmy, I think we have some guests tomorrow too. Let's see here, guys. We're going to do a quick little check here. We have we have Axel Quintana, Ryan Palmer, and John Espicia tomorrow. All right, Jimmy, let's get out of here. I'm going to change the tunes. We're going to go from this one over here. It's time to go. On behalf of Jimmy, Johnny, Marty, the entire everybody listening, you guys know who you are. I appreciate all of you. Holroyd, Lauren, Jeremy Baker. Good time. The entire crew on behalf of AJ, Phyllis, Marty, and everybody, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Have a good one, guys. Let's go, Jimmy.